And overlapping crises have led to inflation, declining real wages, higher debt, and yawning inequality. The 10th edition of ILO's monitoring report on the world of work says that after a rebound from a pandemic slump early this year, the situation has deteriorated. The number of hours of work have dropped by 1.5%, or the equivalent to a deficit of 40 million full-time jobs.
Correspondent Jeremy House. Inflation hitting a new record in the 19 countries using the euro currency, fueled by out-of-control prices for natural gas and electricity, result of Russia's war in Ukraine. Economic growth also slowing ahead of what economists fear is a looming recession. News and analysis, townhall.com. Georgia Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene has a warning for businesses to quit donating to Republicans after the U.S. Capitol attack. She says her actions will not be forgotten.
Major corporations halted their political donations in the wake of the January 6, 2021 attack on the Capitol, with many promising not to support the 147 lawmakers that voted against certifying the results of the 2020 election. Greene told former White House Chief of Staff Steve Bannon while appearing on his show on Wednesday, quote, "That's not going to be forgotten by a whole bunch of my Republican colleagues," unquote. Greene promised investigations into these companies as Republicans appear poised to take control of the House after November's midterm elections. Bernie Bennett reporting.
We will hear from the Federal Reserve. Later in the week, the Fed will decide whether to hike interest rates again. The central bank expected at this week's meeting to announce another rate hike of 0.75 percentage point, 3 times its usual margin. More on these stories. Townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio. Yeah!
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Halloween.
Yes.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Welcome to the dark day. This has been the longest Halloween ever.
It has been like a Halloween.
A 4-day Halloween weekend.
Yeah, it's been full on Halloween since like last Thursday.
I would say since even like last Wednesday when like the trunk or treat started, because there were some real early ones out there.
Well, they keep going tonight, and then of course official trick or treating.
Yeah, we're really testing out how long costumes will last, because I got to tell you, I was Shaggy for Halloween this year.
Yes, he was.
And I really tested the limits of those costume pants. There's not a lot of bend over in those pants.
I think if you just bought a brown pair of corduroys, you'd be all right.
I know. And I really was mad about that because I went and bought a costume, and I could have just gone and bought a green shirt, a pair of rust-colored pants, and been fine.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Well, next year.
You paid for the wig.
Yeah, that's almost exactly. But you know what? Here's the thing.
Yeah.
The wig was separate. I could have bought the wig and then just gone and bought the clothes and been just fine.
Yeah. Yeah, when your costume's just clothes, I mean, it's not like you're dressing up like a zombie. You're just another dude. Now it's a cartoon dude, but it's a dude nonetheless. It's just pants and a shirt, man.
And next year, if I do Shaggy again, God's sake, somebody come with me a Scooby. I got so tired of answering that question. Where's Scooby? I don't know, I'm single, okay? Rub it in some more.
Yeah. Maybe not a couple's costume for a single dude.
I didn't know Shaggy was a couple's costume. In fairness, I did expect that a Velma was going to show up at some point.
See? You're hoping to find your Velma.
Yeah.
No Velma.
My Velma didn't come.
No Velma's this weekend.
No, my Velma was a little busy this weekend.
Well, happy Halloween, everybody.
Yes.
Welcome to it. I hope you had a great weekend and having fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to officially wish my beautiful wife a happy birthday. Today is her birthday day.
Yeah.
And so, we had our little Halloween shindig / birthday party.
35. Big 35.
Yeah, she's 35
She
again.
excited?
Yeah, she's excited.
Mm-hmm.
And she's at work today. I gotta go procure a birthday gift. I know what I'm doing. I just gotta. It's not like I just gotta go make it happen,
right
today. But we took her out. She wanted to go to Roadhouse, Texas Roadhouse for birthday. So we did that yesterday.
Now, did she want to go to Texas Roadhouse, or did she want to go to like a bar on the outskirts of town?
She wanted to meet Dalton
with Patrick Swayze. I'm just saying.
Yeah, she really wanted to meet Dalton.
Who doesn't?
We settled for steak.
you want the cooler. Sometimes you just got to settle for the steak.
That's right.
There you go. Now you know.
But
did you do the thing where you call the people over?
No,
they do a really cool one at Roadhouse.
Do they?
Yeah.
No, my wife's not a fan of that.
My son absolutely is.
Yeah.
We did it this last year for his birthday. They bring everybody over and they tell everybody in the restaurant to give whoever's having a birthday a big old Texas-sized woohoo or yeehaw, yeehaw. That's what it is. So so it's fun. They don't sing. They just yell at you.
Just get a yeehaw.
Yell at you and some free dessert.
There you go, yeehaw and dessert. That's all right. I can deal with that. But yeah, she didn't. She did. I was tempted, but she doesn't appreciate that. So I did not.
That's the whole point.
I know.
Nobody ever does.
I know, but I don't either. So I figure to avoid it happening to me, I don't do it to others.
Well, karma. I see.
Yes,
I see how you work.
Exactly. So happy birthday to my wife. Happy Halloween to everyone else. And we do have full slate for you for today's show.
Yeah.
Michelle Garcia Holmes, Republican candidate for House of Representatives in CD1, Congressional District 1. She's going to be calling in here in just a few minutes. And then we're going to replay some interviews. In the 8 o'clock hour, we had Amy McVeigh-Tejas and Stephanie Seabreeze with Vitalent. Tomorrow, they're doing their big blood drive at the Historical Society. They still have openings left, so you can still scan the QR code or call and get an appointment. So we're going to play that interview for you here in the 8 o'clock hour. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, we had, about a week ago, Joanne Lopez with the Chaves County Health Council and Joanne Palomino with the New Mexico Department of Health. We also had Joanne's sister on the phone, and they're talking about, of course, we get an update from the Health Council. They talk about a meeting that was happening that day, which that's not the important part, but the part about their organizing a group to put together that's going to be like a nonprofit for mental health awareness, and they're starting to get on the ground floor of that, and they start talking, and so they talk about that. So that's the part I really want you all to hear. So we're going to play that interview for you here about 9:15 or so.
Indeed.
So it is 11 minutes after 7. I'm guessing my guest will be calling pretty soon.
Okay.
So I better go ahead and run some weather and some ads. And about the time we get all that done, I'm thinking my guest will call in, and in theory, it flows swimmingly smooth. In theory, but this is real world, and something will get combobulated or something.
It always does.
It always does. So then we'll talk more about Halloween and all that stuff. It was funny, Roy. Roy, I wore it in my Invaders jersey, is just saying, hey, here's your costume. Yeah, I'm an Invader. But at the time, I was cooking chicken on the disco at the party. And so I had an apron on and everything because, grease splatters. I didn't want to get messy.
Sure.
And of course, Roy sees me in with like spatulas in hand, a Invaders uniform, and a apron on. He's like, "Who are you supposed to be?" I said, "Cooking the chicken." I gotta go,
dude. The best response I got all weekend for my costume. I was in the stripes, and we were just getting stuff. And there was some lady who in front of us. And she turned around and she noticed we were all in costume. And she was, polite. But then she looked me up and down and she said, and I quote, "Who are you supposed to be? Donald Trump?" Huh?
Zoinks.
Well, yeah, I was like, I guess the hair, but it wasn't really even Trump hair. It was just auburn hair.
Yeah, a little wavy, but not like.
Somebody else thought I was Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh,
I'm like, that's oddly specific. I figured I had like an arm sticking out of my mouth or something, but
way more nefarious than just Shaggy.
That's right. Shag's got dark.
All right, there's my call. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore with your Pecos Valley weather. There's a large area of high pressure extending on in. We have a dry forecast here straight through Thursday night. Low end chances for rain returning by Friday. Partly to mostly sunny for Roswell, Carlsbad, and Artesia for today. Highs are up from the upper 60s to near 70. Clear out there tonight and a low 40 to 45. Plenty of sunshine through Tuesday. Looks like for Wednesday, too. Highs from the low to middle 70s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. A good October run this week with a nice selection of all classes of cattle, especially high-quality native calves and light yearlings. We expect to sell 1,525 head breaking down like this: 200 to 250 weighing cows and bulls, 75 to 100 pairs bred cows, 1,250 1,300 calves and yearlings. Today's sale will include 12 cow-calf pairs, 10 bred cows, Wes and Carla Bruton, San Antonio, New Mexico. Ex-quality Charolais crossbreds with calves on the ground and bred to Charolais bulls. These cows 4 to 8 years old. 23 yearlings, the Bruton Ranch, San Antonio. Ex-quality Charolais crossbred yearlings, medium condition, right off grass, 550, 700 pounds. 173 calves, Triple R and Limestone Basin Ranch, Jow, New Mexico. Ex-quality black-white face Angus and Brangus cross calves. Bowie Shield Gold one shot, 8-way at Brandon, 400, 650 pounds. 48 calves, Mr. Joe Jackson here northwest of Roswell. Ex-quality yellow Charolais crossbred calves, Bowie Shield Gold 7-way at Brandon, 500, 650 pounds. 63 calves, 3-bar cattle company, Jow, New Mexico. Ex-quality black-white face Angus cross calves, Bowie Shield Gold 7-way at Brandon, 550, 650 pounds. 41 calves, Mr. Justin Goss, Weed, New Mexico. Ex-quality 80% black-white face Angus crossbred calves, 400, 550 pounds. 14 steer yearlings, Mr. Bud Schneider, Ruidosa Downs, New Mexico. Ex-quality Black Angus light yearlings, weaned 60 to 90 days, 2 rounds of shots, 500, 700 pounds, and 32 calves, 5-star ranch, Cloudcroft, New Mexico. Ex-quality black-white face Angus cross calves, shots at Brandon, 400, 550 pounds. Sale time this morning, 9 o'clock. Sell pairs bred cows 10. Be selling calves and yearlings about 10:45 to 11. We expect to sell 1,525 head here today. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Hi, I'm 5th District Judge Eileen Reardon. I'm a native New Mexican and I've lived here all my life. I graduated from NMSU and UNM law schools. The law has been my life. I don't make the laws, the legislature does. My job is to apply those laws to the facts without favoritism or political consideration, and I do that well. I'm asking for your vote on November 8th. I'm Eileen Reardon, District Court Judge. Thank you.
Paid for by the Committee-elect Judge Reardon, Steve McCutcheon, Treasurer.
I'm Judge Reardon and I approve this message.
I'm Mitch Kurkowskis, Vice President of Strata Production Company, a local oil and gas business in Roswell. We must have representatives like Greg Nybert who know the economic drivers of this community and New Mexico. Greg has pushed back on efforts by liberal Democrats who are against oil and gas. With over 39 years' experience, Greg Nybert knows the jobs local oil and gas companies create, the opportunities we provide, and the prosperity we bring to our communities. Oil and gas accounts for over 40% of the state budget and has allowed our state to provide raises to educators and state police, and the rebate checks you received. Please vote for Greg Nybert for State Representative, District 59, to keep a strong conservative voice in our legislature.
I'm Greg Nybert, and I ask you to please vote for me for House District 59. Voting begins on October 11th, and Election Day is November 8th.
Paid for by Greg Nybert for State Representative. Richard Taylor, Treasurer.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. China has more English speakers than the United States. They have more Chinese speakers, too. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 17 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us on the phone this morning, We have Michelle Garcia-Holmes joining us, of course, Republican candidate for U.S. House of Representatives, representing Congressional District 1. Good morning, ma'am. How you doing today?
Hey, good morning, Mike. Thanks for having me on today. It's a great day. We're in Lincoln County today, so
in the
weather's
cool
beautiful.
pines up there, and getting to experience a little bit cooler, the cool part of South New Mexico here. So
the kind of cool part of my district, other than of course your area, Chavez County.
Yeah.
It's a really cool area.
Yeah, well, temperature-wise, they got us beat. It's always, every time we get something and it's like 100 degrees here, and then we look and read Oso and it's like 85. We're like, man, why can't we be up there today?
Oh, yeah. Well, I was referring to your aliens. You guys are
we
cool
got plenty of
'cause you
them.
have aliens.
We do have plenty of them. So,
yeah.
So we're just a hair over a week out here. I imagine your campaign's getting excited, but as far as the overall and feel of the campaign things, how do you feel you guys are at right now, just looking at a week out from the election?
Well, you know what? They've kept my opponent in hiding. They haven't taken her out to the counties. I've been to all the county fairs, all the county parades.
Yeah.
I think because they just, they got nothing. They're on the wrong side of every issue. The economy is the number one issue. Crime, the open borders, Biden's incompetence and out of control spending.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a lot going on, and the lack of energy independence, Mike.
Sure.
Oh my gosh, it's just unbelievable. They just are making so many mistakes at a national level that people are actually seeing it now. I mean, people's 401ks have become 201ks.
Mm-hmm.
We're back to the Jimmy Carter days. And people are not happy on both sides of the aisle.
Sure.
And so people want change. They want someone who's going to go to Washington, D.C. and speak on their behalf and be very vocal about, our resources here. The oil and gas industry was third in the nation to help make America energy independent. So, look, we've got to make some better decisions at the national level. I mean, we can't be – why is Biden – why is he going to Venezuela, Iran, to go get
we should be begging other
for
countries for gas. Yeah, we should not be begging other countries for gas. We've got plenty of it right here. It's it does baffle me every time I see that. Yeah.
Right, and gas prices are going to continue to go up. I mean, they're just holding them steady. He tapped into the reserves. He's put us in a dangerous position, nationally and globally by tapping into the reserves. And, China's looking at that. China is looking at that. And I think right after this election, we're going to take back the House, but I really see China stepping in and maybe invading Taiwan, and because of the weak position that Biden has put us in.
Yeah,
it's really bad.
Globally, I've never felt more nervous globally in this last year than I have almost since I was a child in Cold War days. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I don't think, because people are, they're going to the grocery store, they're paying more for eggs, milk, food products, anything. We still don't have baby formula back on the shelves. It's limited. It's sold in limited quantities. I mean, come on. We are the United States of America. This is ridiculous, the position that Biden, Pelosi, and my opponent, Stansbury, has allowed, and New Mexico is the jewel of the nation. Think about all of our natural resources, all of our culture, our history, our heritage, everything that we have here, our red and green chili, our aliens. I mean, just think about everything we have here. We've got it all. Balloon Fiesta. I mean, it's just no other place is like New Mexico, and we still remain under this dark cloud of being in last place.
Sure.
And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of seeing that. I raised 5 kids here, worked as a law enforcement officer, commissioned for 30 years, worked on legislation when I was chief of staff of the Attorney General's office. I know personally we can do better.
I'm kind of curious.
We can do better.
Yeah, I'm curious with the because you're as a U.S. House of Representative, where and what your role is and what you do, how you represent New Mexico. One of the and you were talking about the Democrats and how it seems like they're kind of laying low on you and not really saying much, and I think nationally we can all see that Democrats have one platform, and it's the abortion platform. That's kind of what they're hanging their hat on right now, and to me, I would point out what you kind of said earlier. It's because they don't have an answer for economy, gas prices, all the things that people are really upset about right now. They're kind of have to own that because they're the ones who created this problem, and so they really can't defend it. So now they're using the abortion card as the way to kind of don't pay attention what the right hand's doing, see what the left hand, you know what I mean, kind of move. And
Mike, they're on the wrong side of that argument.
Yeah.
I mean, they call it, and it all, they always play, they're wordsmiths. They always play their word salad, wordsmith games. They call it women's full reproductive rights.
Yeah.
And basically what that is abortion up to a baby's date of birth. Third trimester abortions.
Yeah.
Can't we do better than that? Can't we help these women and babies, healthy women, healthy baby? Can't we do better than that?
Sure.
There are only 2 other countries that abort babies.
Sure.
In the third trimester.
And you don't want to be associated with either one of them.
And you don't want to be associated with either one of them. I mean, that's horrific.
Yeah.
But we are the United States of America. We are proud, flag-waving, conservative people of faith.
Sure.
I was raised Catholic. 40 days for life meant something to me. My dad, he'd have me out there in front of the church or on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And I'm a Christian. I'm a woman of faith. This is the right side of that argument is, can't we do better for women, young girls especially?
Sure.
These are young women who still have a lot of life left, and they are living and regretting going and having abortions.
Sure.
And I really think we can do better. I've had so many women come to me, Mike, on the campaign trail, because I'm outspoken about this issue.
Mm-hmm.
And, I know abortion's going to exist. There's always health problems, rape, incest.
Sure.
Hey, I used to be a child abuse detective. I used to sit in the room with these children who had been, molested egregiously, and women who have been raped. So I get it. There are times when we have to apply common sense to this issue,
mm-hmm.
but at the same time, it's like, do we really have to abort babies when there's a healthy woman, healthy baby in the third trimester? That's close to the baby's date of birth.
Yeah, that's
a viable baby.
That's a full body
so
in there.
Can't we just do it? Can't we just do it right?
Yeah.
And I think we're on the right side of this issue. And this isn't really the issue right now. I mean, when voters go to the polls,
that's the
they
point
are
I want
not
to make.
thinking about this.
Well, and that's the point I kind of want to make, because obviously you're running for House of Representatives. From a federal level, the issue's done. You know what I mean? It's
been pushed down to the states.
Yeah.
Right.
So
yeah.
you've got bigger fish to fry. So, but here's my other point I would make for people that are legitimately worried that New Mexico will make abortion illegal. And I'm thinking, think a little common sense. Regardless
Mm-hmm.
of who's governor, it does not matter, because the legislature is going to be the one that decides it, not your governor. And
the people. The people will be outspoken and deciding. Right.
And let me just, regardless of the results of this election next week, our New Mexico legislature is not going to turn conservative overnight. You know what I mean? Like
90 years,
yeah.
90 years of Democrat-dominated legislature. No wonder we're 50th in education.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Well, and that's
Right?
my point is, abortion's never going away in New Mexico. I don't see it happening. I'm just being looking at the numbers, looking at everything. It's like this state will protect it because that's this legislature. So, so I'm thinking that, to me, abortion's not even an issue in the state of Mexico. It's going to happen one way or the other, I think. And so let's focus on the things we can fix right now. To be honest, like you said earlier, people aren't concerned about being able to get an abortion. People are concerned about being able to pay their bills right now.
Exactly.
And so
making ends meet.
So,
I used to be go ahead, Mike.
So I'm just saying that, to be honest, especially at your race, but pretty much every state race, unless you're voting for legislators, state house legislators, your abortion, the other votes don't really matter that way because there's not really much they can do about it anyway. So that's my point. But
people right now, on the campaign trail, when we talk to people and we visit with people, and I visited with people all across the district, they say, where's Melanie Stansberry? She's supposed to be representing us. That's one of the number one things they say. She's absentee. She's not representing us. Well, the reason she's absentee is because she votes 100% with Nancy Pelosi. Check her record. 100% with Nancy Pelosi.
Gotcha.
She's voted to defund police. She voted against the Halt Fentanyl Act, which was, to me, crucial for a border state like ours. Halt fentanyl, something that was going to help law enforcement and border agents and DEA and local law enforcement. She voted against it. And she voted against New Mexico. When you think about all the overdoses that we have here and the issues we have with people who are drug addicted, she's not taking her job seriously. She's just a puppet for Nancy Pelosi, Martin Heinrich, and all of those far left radical liberals. Mike, I'm not a radical. I'm not a radical on, Republican. I'm a wife. I'm a grandma. I raised 5 kids here. I'm just one of these people who served in public service for many, many years and has looked at this and said, we can do better. What is going on here? And I come up with ideas because I have worked in the legislative process.
Sure.
And so one of the first things we need to do, Mike, is secure that border and give some relief to our border agents. Let them catch their breath. They're dealing with babies at the border. They're dealing with women who have been raped repeatedly, human trafficking at the border, egregious homicides, deaths at the border. And it's horrible what's happening at that border.
And they're using immigration as the cover behind it. So they're saying, oh, you don't believe in humanity and letting people cross. Meanwhile, they don't either. They're busy using that veil as to sex traffic and to transport drugs into this country, and they're using that that as the crutch to get in. Yeah, and it's working.
Yeah, and it's wrong. It's wrong. I'm a compassionate person. I understand. My great grandfather was an immigrant. I totally get why people want to come to the United States of America. We all get it. We've all heard the reasons why people want to come here from other countries. They, they want to live the American dream. But at the same time, we've got to take care of the homeland. We've got to protect the homeland. There have been hundreds of people on the terrorist watch list, hundreds of people who want to hurt us, want to hurt our children, who have come across that border that have been, apprehended on the terrorist watch list. How many people have not been apprehended? How many of those bad guys that have come into our country have not been apprehended? There's been a 2,500% increase of sex offenders, Mike. Sex offenders. Our children aren't safe. It's terrible. It's just the element that is coming across the border. We need to do things right. There are laws in place. We need to apply those laws. People need to come here legally. I just had a naturalized citizen tell me they just voted for me. They've heard me on the radio. They said, I just became a citizen. They registered me to vote, and I'm voting for you. I like your policies, especially on the border issues. You get it. I've been to the border. I've seen what's happened at the border. I've seen the drug cartels in action.
Sure.
Being a law enforcement officer, I worked undercover operations.
Too. Yeah. And like working the streets in Albuquerque, you see, after the cartel and what they've done and see what's left on the streets and everything else when they get the supply here. It's so you've seen almost every, from the border side to the end result just through your career and experience, I would think. Anyway,
Yeah, this is why when I became chief of staff at the Attorney General's office, I worked under the King administration. This is why I worked so hard to pass the first human trafficking bill. That just, I tell you, human trafficking is just something dark and disgraceful that is happening in America, and that needs to be tackled. And then especially at the border, the horror stories that I could tell you at the border. It's just egregious what's happening, and it's you know what's really wrong on all levels is that the president hasn't been to the border, and he visited New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Kamala Harris hasn't been to the border, and she visited New Mexico and knows that the border's safe.
Yeah.
Just last week, chumming up votes for these incompetent people. And you know, Deb Haaland came to the border, the cabinet secretary of the Department of Interior. Yeah, it came, you know, didn't go to the border, came to New Mexico, didn't go to the border. She's a cabinet secretary. She's the one who helped Biden shut down all those 36,000 land leases, hurting our farmers, ranchers, oil and gas industry. I mean, these people got to go. They got to go. I mean, it's time. And then my opponent hasn't been to the border. So, you know, I've got horror stories of things that have happened at the border, and they don't care. They have an agenda, and they're just getting after it. And to me, it's like I have an agenda when I get in there, and it's making our country safe, Mike.
Sure.
Making our country safe and bringing relief to people. Good, hardworking people. It's time. It is time we turn our economy around. It's time we secure that border and give our border agents some relief and some help. And it's time, you know, we take care of that crisis and help those people that are good people who want to come to our country and get these bad actors out. And prosecute them for crossing the border illegally. Prosecute these drug traffickers and human traffickers.
Mm-hmm. You know, I was watching. I got a chance to see bits and pieces of some other, I believe, Colorado debates, and I think it was some senators or I don't remember the positions, but I just caught bits and pieces, and it was very interesting. They got on the topic of border security. And to the candidates, they were all talking just about, you know, how much drugs come up through New Mexico because of, you know, and they're talking about the issues they're dealing with in Colorado and Utah. And they talk about that border and they talk about the unsecure border, and they mention by name New Mexico, you know, and coming up through.
Yeah, and this is something that has affected the Navajo Nation, you know, from one end of our state to the other. And you guys can see it too, because we've got highways and byways, north, south, east, west. And that is ideal for the drug cartel industry. North, south, east, west. They can funnel drugs into the United States, and we've got to do something about China. They're equipping Mexico with all the precursors to create fentanyl, and still we hear Joe Biden. I mean, he's too friendly with China. So to me, we have the north, south, east, west. We've got China coming in, supplying the precursors. They come across the open border. You know, the cartels come across the open border. And then distribution just expands all across our nation. That's why we have over 300 deaths a day. 300 deaths a day due to fentanyl.
Wow.
That's egregious.
And it's only going up from here.
Yeah, that's equal to an airplane crashing every day. Would we do something about that in America? We would.
Absolutely.
You know, we'd step right on it. And they don't. This administration, they don't even think twice. Joe Biden's talking about all kinds of nonsense. My opponent isn't even visiting the community. She has no idea what's going on. The only thing she talks about is climate change. Hey, right now, the real crisis is the empty wallet crisis. I mean, the cost of living crisis, the cost of energy crisis. We're back in those Jimmy Carter days, and I have a feeling it's just going to get worse. After Election Day, I mean, people really need to vote wisely this year. Well, if you all are listening, if there's a Democrat listening, hey, guys, vote wisely this year. We've got to vote to lift New Mexico up. We've got to vote to help our people here in New Mexico. We are poverty stricken here.
Yeah.
73% of our kids, Mike, are on Medicaid. That's just insanity.
Yeah, it is.
That's sad. They go to bed hungry. That's another statistic that is just killing me. It's like food insecurity. The kids are going to bed hungry. That is not helpful for them to do well in school on a regular basis too. This is why I think we're 51st in the nation. It's one of the reasons is we've got so much poverty. Kids aren't getting fed. I go without a meal and I can't even think straight.
Well, and let's just kind of for people like you said, the Democrats here. We look at this state, and I'm thinking, you've seen the state, you've seen the history of the state. It's had liberal leadership since it's been a state, and long before it's been a state.
Right.
The people that you have representing you outside the state, in the Senate and in the U.S. House of Representatives. Obviously our governor and our legislator, our state legislators, they're the ones that have to make this state good. As that's not the role of a senator or our U.S. House of Representatives to run the state. That's your governor, that's your House and state legislature. Right. And so, yes, they have the big task of getting these numbers up here. But at the same time, when you have your leadership that represents you in Washington not doing anything for you except for promoting whatever agenda they've got, that doesn't help this state either. I know like when like your counterpart in CD2, who's a Republican who's been running, she's been doing a lot of stuff to try to bring things here to go and to do. Whereas, and yourself as representative, that's what you're trying to bring growth, bring things to New Mexico, put New Mexico on other people's radars. And I'm asking you, the people in the past, have they done a good job of doing that? Because let me ask you, does it feel better than you were before? And that's my whole point of Democrat Republican right now. Is like, you've seen what they've given you for the last, I'd say 4 years, but I'd say pretty much lifetime of New Mexico. Does it look good to you? Do you want to keep giving them that same chance, or do you want to give people that might have different ideas and different angles to try to fix this? And that's to me in a nutshell, that's what this election's all about. And it doesn't matter if you're voting for a U.S. House of Representative or a mayor or a governor, in the way I see it.
Well, let me tell you, I watched Alexis Martinez Johnson, who shares half of Chavez County. Well, she's got probably the lion's share of Chavez County. And you all got to vote for her too, guys. Y'all got to vote for her too. Her race is a toss-up. We're all running this horse race together. We're doing really, really well. People are making their decisions to vote. And I'll tell you, she's a smart one for that community. And you're spot on when you say, we've had this 80, 90 years of Democrat-dominated elected. They've also been at the federal level. So what is so wrong with giving, Republicans a chance? What have you got to lose? You're in last place, New Mexico.
Exactly.
You're in last. We have a last place problem. And so I keep saying, people like myself, Alexis, Yvette Harrell, we are all very good managers. We are all very good managers of taxpayer dollars too. And that's the problem that I've seen over the years. We get a lot of money funneling into New Mexico, and there's a lot of grant money, DOJ grants that we can get for law enforcement. And then once it gets into the hands of the Democrat elected, it's mismanaged. Look at Tim Keller in Albuquerque. He's totally mismanaged the homeless problem, the crime problem, and he's turned away $61 million of federal grant money that he could have had to help him work on the homeless issues in Albuquerque. So it's the mismanagement. That's what people have to really think about in this election cycle. Who's going to spend your money more wisely? Who is going to spend the money more wisely? And who's going to spend the money more wisely is Republicans. Yvette Harrell, myself, and Alexis, we can win this. And we're on the road right now with Mark Ronchetti. He's doing this 33 county on the road visit, and we're united in the counties that I have. And I'll tell you, that guy is a hard worker. He's gonna be a great governor.
He's got his work cut out for him. If he, assuming he gets elected here, he's gonna have to hit the ground running to get to work. He's got a lot. You know what I mean? There's a lot to catch up. He's got to do.
Team.
Oh yeah, you're right.
We'll work as a team at the federal level. I'll be working with Mark Ronchetti, and I'll be sitting down. What do you need?
Yeah.
What do you need? We have grants here. We have legislation we can work on. We're going to secure that border. Work with his strike force for funding. Definitely going to get funding for him for that strike force. I've already talked to him about it and on how we're going to secure that border and then start going after the drug cartels.
Well, I know just because I've talked extensively with our CD2 representative, Yvette Harrell, pretty often over the last couple of years, and I know for a fact she needs your help. For the last 2 years, her and her counterparts in D.C. have just been trying to kind of keep the walls from coming down, kind of thing, for the last 2 years, kind of playing that stalwart, we're going to stop them wherever we can. Obviously Democrats have had the numbers and they can't stop them on a lot of things, but they fought tooth and nail, and I've had exact conversations with her on this show saying, we need help on our side of the fence here, and so I'm thinking she's, her and this whole state are ready for yourself and Alexis Johnson to kind of join her so they can at least get some strength in numbers, which hopefully the way the national tide's turning, we might see the House get taken by the Republicans here. But it certainly won't happen if no one doesn't get out and vote here. So.
Right. I was just on a call last night with the NRCC, our House Leader McCarthy, Chairman Emmer, and Tim Scott. And I'll tell you, we're going to take back the House. We are going to take back the House. Mm-hmm. But what seats are going to be filled, we don't know yet, right? Sure. I mean, we'll find out November 8th here in New Mexico. But we're definitely going to take back the House, thank God, because, this administration needs to be held accountable. The spending is out of control, and who are we leaving that debt to?
Yeah.
This isn't a benefit for us now. This is what's caused the inflation, and I hope people understand that. The out-of-control spending by my opponent, who has voted for every bill alongside Pelosi, that Inflation Reduction Act was not an Inflation Reduction Act. It was an Inflation Production Act because it's only increased inflation by huge percentages, and it's a cost to the families, $3,000 to $6,000 more in your budgets yearly. $3,000 to $6,000. Who can afford that right now when gas prices are still, in the three? I saw. Well, here you guys have high gas prices in Lincoln County, Chavez County, because I've driven through there and filled our tanks.
Oh yeah.
But I just feel like, hey guys, look at the diesel prices, because these are the people who are bringing you the goods, bringing you the food, and the diesel prices are still out of control high.
Wonder why you're paying? Why? That's why you're paying so much for eggs and milk and things at the grocery store.
Exactly. So they're just playing the shell game with y'all. They're playing the shell game, and it's wrong, and it's a disservice to good, hardworking American families. It's a disservice to these Americans who have, paid their dues, our veterans, our seniors, our retirees, our law enforcement. I mean, these are families that work every day, and then the cost goes on to you from the diesel prices. And this didn't have to happen. They chose this. This did not have to happen. This administration chose this. And so some of those things can be stopped once we take back the House. But in 2024, I'm looking forward to the 2024 election, because we know Biden is not going to get reelected. We know Pelosi's going to be out. I mean, she's got some craziness going in her life
everyone's tuning the news. Her and her husband have been headlines for a month now, between the DUI and the current situation that happened over the weekend, or last weekend, whenever it was.
And times are changing. I mean, look at Elon Musk took over Twitter. I mean, we've got some positives that are happening. You're going to see more tweets from me now because, these social media sites control everything we say.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't we have the freedom of speech anymore? We've got no freedoms in America because look who's in charge. They took away our freedoms. Look at the governor, what she did during COVID. She took away our freedoms. She shut down our churches. I mean, this is egregious. We can't elect people like this anymore. They're like dictators. And that's what my opponent is. She's just living like a Washington, D.C. elitist, voting with Pelosi, not voting with New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And New Mexicans are suffering. We don't need people like that serving. We need people who are public service oriented and who are knowledgeable. And definitely Alexis Johnson, Yvette Harrell, and myself working as a team. I mean, we will turn New Mexico around very quickly, folks.
Absolutely. We're running short on time here, but for folks, if in case you haven't realized, you got about a week left of early voting. You got through, I believe, Saturday to early vote. And then if you don't early vote by Saturday, then you're going to have to wait till Tuesday and then in-person vote then. Or, of course, do your absentee ballots. But if you have any questions about that, I always tell you, go visit the Chaves County Clerk's office. They have amazing people that can help you navigate through any of that stuff. If you've got questions about your voter registration or questions about, early voting or any of that stuff, they can, or if you need to request absentee, I know we're getting a little behind the eight ball on that one, but they can help you navigate through all of that stuff. But please do not let next Tuesday pass without you expressing your opinion and voting in this upcoming election. You keep hearing things like your life depends on it and things like that. I don't know if I'd go that far, but I would definitely say there's a lot of important decisions that are going to be made in the coming year here. And if you want to say and who's making those decisions, this is your opportunity to do that. So please do not take this lightly. Please do your research. If you want to listen and hear more from Michelle Garcia Holmes, go read your website. Go look at social media. Go look at her track record. Go see what she's done, and then make your decisions. That's and I'm sure she'd tell you the same thing. And matter of fact, she's going to tell you exactly where to go find that stuff.
That's right. You can go to Cast Your Vote. So it's votemgh.com. votemgh.com. It's let's go cast our votes, right? VOTE MGH, my initials, MichelleGarciaHolmes.com. I'm the good Michelle, not the bad Michelle. And we're going to get the job done. We're just going to get the job done, folks. Think about it this year. You've got nothing to lose. We're at the bottom of the list. We've got a last place problem here that can be fixed. We've got open borders that can be dealt with and sealed. And we've got a drug crisis across our nation that, to me, I see it as a war.
Absolutely.
China's infiltrating in different ways, and look, they're doing it with fentanyl. And I see it as a war that we need to win. We need to be on the right side of that.
Absolutely.
And you know what? Democrats aren't going to do it for you. They've had their chance. They've had their chance, and they haven't delivered.
They've had the chance for 80 plus years. How they done for you?
Yeah. Is your wallet, how's your wallet doing? Is it thin? Yep.
Everyone that argues with me.
How are they doing?
Yeah. Every person argues about stuff
on.
And they talk about, we need this. And I'm like, really? You see what we got right now. And you've got what you're asking for. And is it doing what you want? No, it's not doing it, is it?
Exactly.
This is everyone that, if you're a liberal Democrat right now and they're saying that you got to vote out this and that, I'm like, you've had it for the last 2+ years and more than that in some cases. How is it working out for you? And that's the part and they can blame COVID, they can blame everything else on it, but I'm like, if it was handled differently by different people, we wouldn't be dealing with COVID the way we're dealing with COVID right now. We just wouldn't.
Exactly.
And I got to be honest, I think some of our financial issues. Now I know this is a global pandemic and that's all impacted on all that, but in case you haven't noticed, the United States of America kind of dictates a lot of how the globe does things. And if we handle things our way, guess what the rest of the globe will start doing? Doing it the way we do it. I mean, yeah, there's going to be differences, but I hate to tell everybody, but we're kind of the trendsetters in the whole world here. When the U.S. starts it, that's it sets the tone for the rest of the world. It really does. And so whatever we do impacts the globe, and that's just how it works. So yes, your votes here in New Mexico impact globally, especially for your U.S. House of Representatives and senators and so forth. So please do your research, ask questions. Real quick, are you going to be in our neck of woods between now and next Tuesday at all, or any place that folks can come and meet you or talk to you?
I am, and you know what? I don't have the calendar right in front of me, Mike, but I'm going to text you once I get the calendar up, and I'll let you know exactly what day we're going to be in Roswell. We're traveling with Mark a little bit here and there, and so I know we're going to be hitting Roswell soon, and so I'll text you the date, and I would love for y'all to come out and visit and talk with me, meet me face to face. I'm that kind of person. I love having conversations. Every conversation on this campaign has been a blessing to me, I'll tell you that. Just hearing people's stories, that's what has established my platform, is hearing people's stories and what they want. And the main thing I've been hearing is done with Democrats. We have a commercial out on some of the radio stations called Done with Democrats. And that's what I hear on the campaign repeatedly. A lot of Democrats are voting for me, crossing over, voting for me. And, I'm counting on us Republicans to get out in droves, come out like you did in the 2020 election. We did, just incredible numbers when I ran in 2020. And I want to see those numbers again. If that many people come out, and vote, we'll win this election. And you'll have a congresswoman that will come to your community, sit down, have coffee with you, and discuss the issues, and then go back to Washington, be your voice, and get the job done.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate the time here, and we look forward to more conversations as a U.S. House of Representative down the road here with you. So,
well, thanks, Mike. God bless you, and God bless Travis County. We'll see you in Roswell very, very soon.
Thank you. Take care, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. All right, that was Michelle Garcia Holmes. Big thank you to her for spending some time with us. Go check out, do your research, and whether you're going to early vote here or wait till next Tuesday, please do your research before you go out there and vote. All right, it is 7:55. Let's do a quick update for Chavez County sports, Wall Street update, and quick break. Don't go away.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Reports. The football seedings are out for the playoffs. Roswell, Goddard, Dexter, Gateway Christian's already in the playoffs, so we'll just say that the others are joining the playoff picture. Roswell defeated Goddard on Friday by a score of 42-7, and they've got the second seed in the Class 5A playoffs and a bye past the first round. Hey, Goddard's got a bye past the first round, too. They're the fourth seed despite that loss. And despite losing to Ruidoso 43-6, Dexter in Class 3A has got the 8th seed, and they will take on Cobre this Saturday at 1 o'clock. Cobre is the 9th seed. Now, about Gateway Christian, they are still undefeated, now 9-0 after a 61-8 romp over New Mexico's School for the Deaf. The Warriors now play 4th-seeded Dora this weekend in the semis. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Wall Street closed sharply higher, capping another strong week with gains led by Apple and other companies that made even bigger profits during the summer than expected. Chrysler parent company Stellantis said Friday it has offered voluntary buyouts to some of its 13,000 U.S. salaried employees. Salaried workers age 55 or older who have been with the automaker at least 10 years are eligible. The carmaker said the offer was part of a transformation to become a sustainable tech mobility company and the market leader in low-emission vehicles. Airbus reported Friday that earnings grew in the third quarter. The company said it has delivered 437 commercial aircraft so far this year and is maintaining its outlook to deliver about 700 through the end of 2022. According to AAA, the national average for a gallon of gasoline continues to fall as gas demand remains low. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Mark Ronchetti talks and talks a lot. Problem is, he lies and lies a lot, too. The ads about the governor letting killer Chris Beltran out early are flat out untrue. KOB-TV fact-checked Department of Corrections documents, and they called the ads, quote, inaccurate. They found that corrections released Beltran after he completed his sentence because, quote, he served his time. Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham had nothing to do with it. The truth is, Mark Ronchetti is exploiting a tragedy to get himself elected, not to protect us. He would roll back Michelle Lujan Grisham's heavy investment in beefing up our state police and local law enforcement. An independent study by a former state finance department secretary shows that the proposals on Ronchetti's own website would cut public safety, education, and health care by billions of dollars. Mark Ronchetti should never be governor. He'll make us less safe.
Paid for by New Mexicans for Michelle.
Approved by Michelle Lujan Grisham.
Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing, and I know you've heard me say that you can trust Trustmark, but I want you to know what that looks like in real life. A few years ago, we installed a beautiful new roof for an older woman who was recently widowed. She was an artist and colors were really important to her. So when she said she didn't like the color of a brand new roof, we took that seriously. She had picked the color and signed off on it, but I just kept thinking, if she's going to walk into her house every day and be disappointed, then we're just going to redo it. So we did. We ripped that beautiful new roof off and replaced it with a slightly different color, and she was thrilled. Yes, it cost us quite a bit of money to make her happy, but I want you to know you can trust Trustmark to make it exactly right every time. If you have any roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
I'm Michelle Garcia Holmes, and I'm running for United States Congress. As a former policewoman, I put on my Kevlar vest, uniform, gun belt, grabbed my 12-gauge shotgun, jumped into my police car, and hit the city streets to keep you safe. I want to do the same for you in Washington. I'm asking for your vote on November 8th because our families deserve safe cities, a secure border, and lower gas prices.
Donate today at GarciaHolmesForCongress.com. Paid for by Michelle Garcia Holmes for Congress.
Your home for Kim Commando in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
And we're closing in on 8 o'clock. Town Hall News coming up next. We'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Russia once again starving the world of grain supplies from Ukraine. It's blocking those exports while continuing to attack civilian targets all across Ukraine.
We had the air raid siren going off about an hour ago, and that was followed by reports of a wave of missiles targeting several cities this morning. At least 2 explosions were heard here in the capital, Kyiv. Now the mayor is saying that critical infrastructure was hit. There are reports of power and water outages in parts of the city. There have been reports also of power cuts in the city of Kharkiv in the northeast of the country. This is the second largest city, and also in Zaporizhia in the south, and again reports that critical infrastructure was hit in those cities. Power cuts have been reported as well.
The BBC's Hugo Beshega. A national week of mourning declared in South Korea following the crowd surge death of more than 150 partygoers in Seoul over the weekend. Care to venture a prediction on the outcome of the midterm elections? Jim Banks is giving it a go. The Indiana congressman chairs the House Republican Study Committee, says he's been on the stump all across the heartland.
We have so many of the seats that we're going to win that are going to give us the majority that come from middle America, from the Midwest, and I'm going to do my part in the closing days to help candidates here close to home.
Thanks. Speaking with the Salem Radio Network's Hugh Hewitt, the midterms now just 8 days away. It was their final debate before Election Day, and the gloves came off with Georgia's Republican Governor Brian Kemp and Democratic challenger Stacey Abrams trading harsh attacks. Formal charges to be filed today against the suspect, last week's brutal hammer attack on 82-year-old Paul Pelosi in San Francisco. The Dow down 135. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter code SLEEK at checkout. That's harrys.com, code SLEEK. Enjoy!
Workers have walked out of an iPhone factory in China amid fresh COVID restrictions.
Workers who assemble Apple's new iPhone have walked out of their factory in northern China to avoid COVID-19 curbs after some co-workers were quarantined following a virus outbreak. Videos circulating on Chinese social media platforms show people said to be Foxconn workers climbing over fences and walking down a road laden with their belongings. The scenes underscore growing public discontent with China's zero COVID strategy, where the government seeks to stamp out outbreaks by implementing heavy restrictions. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Military teams are hunting for people missing after a colonial-era cable suspension bridge collapsed into a river yesterday in western India, sending hundreds plunging into the water, killing at least 132 people, one of India's worst accidents in the past decade. Townhall.com. China rising, launching the third and final module to complete its permanent space station.
It's part of a more than decade-long endeavor to maintain a constantly crewed presence in orbit. Meng Tian was blasted into space Monday afternoon from the Wenchang Satellite Launch Center on the southern island province of Hainan. It will join Wentian as the second laboratory module for the station, connecting to the Tianhe core module, where the crew lives and works. Tiangong is currently populated by a crew of 2 male and 1 female astronauts. The Meng Tian launch is uncrewed. Ron DeRockster reporting.
Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates defending the recent decision by OPEC to cut oil output. The Saudi energy minister putting it this way: it was done for us, by us, for our future, and we need to commit ourselves to that. OPEC and Russia to cut output by 2 million barrels per day starting tomorrow. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
Los Dos.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters. Right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Halloween.
Yes.
Hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Had a good weekend.
Indeed.
Got more fun plans for tonight, whether you're fall festivaling or trunk or treating or trick or treating.
There's plenty of them going on. I believe there's one at Ace Hardware tonight. I think right at 5:30 or something like that.
Waymaker Church's got one.
Church.
Trinity United Methodist Church, I believe, has one today. And that's just a couple off the top of my head. I know there's more.
And also, people are going to be traditionally trick-or-treating tonight. So in the neighborhood areas, please exercise caution when you're driving around.
Yes.
Keep your eye out for kids. Kids are going to be wearing hopefully brightly colored costumes, Mom and Dad. And just keep your eyes out for little ones who could be crossing the street at any point in time. Slow it down. Don't go ripping through residential areas. Wouldn't be prudent. not prudent at this juncture.
I seen y'all drive fast through my neighborhood streets.
They whip, dude. They whip around.
Well, not so much like where my house is, but like the streets adjacent.
Right next to like where the hospital is and all that. Yeah.
And people come whipping anything that's attached to Main Street. Kind of people come whipping off that. And I'm like, dude, there's houses right there. I mean, literally right there. And maybe you should slow down.
Yeah. So. It always scares me when I'm on Virginia and I'll be driving up by where, like, you know, where the Wendy's turnoff is. And I know that it's just because it's a historical building, that's why they haven't done anything about it. But the way that the old Roswell Community Little Theater just juts out into the street.
Oh, yeah.
That's bothered me since I've driven in Roswell. It's always, I mean, I know it's there. I always know how to avoid it.
And then it's like, it's right in the middle of the road. We'll just road around it.
People also tend to speed down that road.
They really, Virginia is one of those that you're flying down. Because
if you're not paying attention, you're
avoiding stoplights. So you're basically on a frontage road at that point.
Yeah, just be careful.
Yeah, please.
I mean, you should do it all the time, but particularly this evening when there's going to be gaggles of kids and families walking about and probably in the street, probably on the sidewalks, probably in your neighborhood. So be careful.
Especially, I'm going to say especially in the neighborhood of Jesse McDaniel's house, because that neighborhood tends to get a lot of trick-or-treaters.
Oh, yeah, with Christmas. He does his big Christmas deal. He does a big
and stuff,
Halloween deal as well, yeah.
I always love the fact that the neighbor, the guy right next door, has a sign that just has an arrow that says what he said.
Yeah. What are you going to do when you live next to a guy that just goes all out on everything?
You're going to lose sleep.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
It's either keep up with the Joneses or just like, you can park here to go look at his stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, that neighborhood tends to attract a lot of trick-or-treaters on Halloween specifically.
Sure.
Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that's where my friends are going.
There you go.
I'm probably not. I'm just going to go to a party they're in. But
and I will offer up the 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM Facebook wall. If you want to leak out locations of full-size candy bars, use that as a conduit, and others seeking full-size candy bars can use it as a guide.
I'm surprised that hasn't been an app that's like been created.
A full-size candy bar app?
Yeah, full bar finder. Just on Halloween.
Unless someone braggadociously tells everybody, there's no way you're going to know.
If you're a full bar household, you could register on at the full bar app, and you could be part of the registry. And then when Halloween comes up, your house would be listed.
I think they should send a fun size inspector to get on said list, and the fun size inspector has to inspect. And if there's any fun size candies, they are immediately removed from the. I don't care, even if there's one in the fridge. You're like, I wasn't going to give it out, so what? You acknowledge fun size candy, therefore you cannot be a part of it.
Now my question is, does said fun size inspector need to be fun sized themselves?
It can or cannot.
Because is Kim looking for her side hustle?
As long as the fun-size inspector can do the job properly.
Hey, buddy, these don't look like fun-size bars. No, they look like full-size bars.
Now, I understand this could be a very corruptible position. So we need someone with a Teflon fortitude. Not Teflon. We want a cast iron style integrity.
I know what you're up to, fun-size Terry. You're fluffing up the numbers of the fun-size game. But
that's right.
Your game's up. I don't know what you're talking about, man.
And I would even argue that if the fun size or the full size candy bar is a garbage candy bar, I would say we're going to put a black mark on you can still be a part, but we're going to put checks saying these aren't good fun size. These are full size.
Which, yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you're going to give out full size, have fun with it and give out like 0 bars.
Yeah.
Or take fives. Take fives are okay, but
Here's say both of those are pretty good.
They're all right, but they're a very niche, like
Charleston Chew.
Yeah. Big hunks.
Yeah.
Little versions of big hunks, which are just hunks.
Yeah. Something that's got the Mars or,
Where'd you even manage to find
Hershey
mini-sized cherry mash?
Yeah.
I got a guy.
Sam's Club.
To be honest, you know what the best official candy to give out on Halloween is, and people don't do it, but it should be?
What's that?
Full-size crackle bars to everybody.
Ooh.
Full-size crackles are kind of hard to find.
I know. That's why they should be the ones you give.
Yeah.
Full-size crackle.
You could just give out a Nestle Crunch, though.
I know, but it's not crackle.
I know, because it's not the Hershey chocolate. But the problem with the crackles is every crackle I've ever had has been fun-sized.
I know.
So I don't think I've ever actually had a full-size crackle, and it always feels like the smaller ones, they don't put as much effort into.
We need to make this a thing.
Tape a bunch of them together.
Start storming Hershey Park full-size crackle. Make it happen.
I'm shocked when I saw a bag of fun-sized Payday bars.
You don't see those too often.
You really don't. I love Payday.
I do see them.
It's become one of my favorite candy bars, but I'm like, what unpopular household is the one giving out the Payday bars?
Guy like you that loves Payday and got it for yourself.
Right.
All right, you can have one.
I guess you could have one of these here. The rest of these are mine.
Yeah. Yeah, but crackle in the full size. I will be very impressed if you get that.
Crackling fuel.
Yeah.
All I know is if you happen to be out and about and in my neighborhood, I'll be giving out stuff.
Nice.
Okay.
Fun size.
I was like,
Fortunately.
when you say stuff, I picture like pencil cases and stickers.
I'll be giving out candy this year.
Okay.
He's giving out splitters.
I haven't done it before.
He's giving out splitters to everybody. He's like, I can never find a splitter, so I'm just going to buy a bunch and put them in everyone's Halloween bag.
I will say, I don't have my keys on me right now, but I got the coolest, handout from like a place, like instead of like a business card or whatever. I went to Smile Expressions, the dentist that just celebrated.
Oh, yeah, you did a remote
their
there
50th, yeah.
in Artesia last
So
week.
their giveaways is, it's got their logo on it, Smile Expressions, but it's a keychain, USB dongle.
Like a jump drive?
Well, it's got a regular USB, so you can plug it into like a thing to like a brick to charge, and it's got all three of the major cables. So it's got your mini micro USB, it's got your USB-C, and it's got your lightning cable for Apple.
Oh.
So you can charge any of those devices with just this thing on your keychain.
Oh.
A really cool and useful thing, keychain.
I can see that.
Yeah.
As long as it works.
I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah. You know how Apple gets when you start plugging things into there? This is not Apple. I don't like it.
How much does it hold?
It's going to self-destruct in 2 seconds.
How much does it hold?
Well, it's not a jump drive.
It's just a charging.
It's a charging cable.
Conduit point.
It's like one plugs into a brick, and then it's got the three major cables that you could plug into either like a micro USB, a C, or a lightning.
That is convenient.
Right?
Yeah.
It's bringing the worlds of the Android owner and the iPhone owner together. So we're on top of each other.
You know what it made me laugh? Like,
Shadazy.
give me all of that, and then you pull out like the toothpick on a Swiss Army knife. That's a toothbrush. That would have made me happy.
Toothpick and the tweezers always the quickest things you lose.
Yeah, they're gone quick.
And by the way, the tweezers on the Swiss Army knife are the most useless friggin' tweezers on the planet. You can't get a good grip on those to save your soul.
I have had them save my bacon once or twice.
The tweezers.
Yes, in scouting days.
I was going to say the only way that would happen is if you're at like Warp Tour.
Yeah.
And the thing that you were enjoying was getting a little short and you didn't want to burn your fingers.
No, scout projects. I used them in scout projects.
Fair enough.
All the time. So let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. By the way, real quick, congratulations are in order to the Artesia Bulldogs, the Roswell Coyotes, and the Goddard Rockets. All three are getting first-round buys in the 5A state playoffs here.
And you got to give, and I'm going to catch heat for this, you really got to give props to Goddard for doing it in style. 42-7, they lost. I'm sorry, Goddard. I'm Roswell High.
He is a Roswell alum.
I live in a sea of Goddard Rocket fans, so I'm a lone Coyote fan over here. So
I will say I dug the unis on Friday.
Yeah.
Both Goddard and Roswell. I like the Goddard logo with the red, white, and blue inside the lettering, and then the Coyotes went with their black and gold with the red trim.
I feel like they were saving those. It's like their special uniforms.
I was impressed by both teams. They had sharp-looking uniforms. But congratulations. The Artesia Bulldogs are the number 1 seed. The Roswell Coyotes are the number 2 seed. And the Goddard Rockets are the 4 seed. What that means is all 4 teams will not be playing football this weekend. They're all going to be watching. Well, coaches will have them practicing. But they're all watching and waiting and to find out who wins this weekend to see who they'll play next weekend. And all 3 will host games here at home.
Yep.
So you will have 2 games at the Will Bowl.
Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, one way or another, we'll work all that out in a week here. And then there will be a game in our... I'll tell you right now, just knowing Artesia's history, that game will be on Saturday. Whenever Artesia hosts a game, they like to play their playoff games on Saturday. So whoever Artesia plays in that first round, that will be on Saturday. Now, Goddard and Artesia are on the same side of the bracket, being a 1-4. So they could face off in the semis, I think. And then if Artesia or Goddard advance to the finals, That's the only way they'll play Roswell if Roswell 2 advances to the finals. So, but Goddard and Artesia, because they're 1 and 4, are on the same side of the bracket.
Yep.
So.
I always, every time we do these whole, like, they're going to wait a week, and then, you know, like the way we break that into the tournament, I always think of this scene in the movie Basketball. Skip ahead a little bit.
Hi there, I'm Dan Patrick. And I'm Kenny Mann. With the first 7 months of the basketball postseason out of the way, the playoff picture is now starting to emerge. So with last night's victory over Boston, next week the Bears must beat Indianapolis in order to advance to Charlotte. That's in an effort to reduce their magic number to 3. Right, and then the Bears can advance to the National Eastern Division North to play Tampa. So if the Bears beat Detroit, and Denver beats Atlanta in the American Southwestern Division East Northern, then Milwaukee goes to the Denslow Cup. Plus Baltimore can upset Buffalo, and Charlotte ties Toronto. Then Oakland would play L.A. and Pittsburgh in a blind choice round robin. And if no clear winner emerges from all this, a 2-man sack race will be held on consecutive Sundays until a champion is crowned.
That's basically the tournament breakdown. Every time I hear that breakdown,
about right.
I hear like white noise and then that scene from Basketball in my head.
Well, I'm waiting for the sack race.
Exactly. So. Let's make that happen.
But yes, congratulations to our football team. So no Friday night football for us this Friday.
Yep.
But a whole plethora of it next weekend.
Boy, howdy.
So,
It's weird, too, because not only do we have no high school football, we have no professional football either.
Oh, are the Cowboys on a bye this week?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Real quiet on the Western Front. I think Tech has a game this weekend, but that's pretty much it.
Okay.
No, maybe I think it might be on their last game this season.
Okay. Well, I think there's some soccer playoffs and volleyball and stuff we'll be doing on the video.
We got some NIMI stuff to do.
And MMI as well. So yeah, we got sports. Just staggering a little bit.
It's sports.
All right. As far as this show goes, we'll get you up to date with the weather here in just a bit. And then we're going to play our interview we had last week. Amy McVeigh-Tejas with the Historical Society joined us. She was joined with Stephanie Seabreeze from Vitalent. Tomorrow is the blood drive that's being hosted by the Historical Society. And I saw, as of this morning, there were still spots available to sign up. So we're going to play that interview for you, and you can find out ways to sign up and donate blood. And plus we'll get an update talking about the Historical Society. So we'll play that interview for you in just a bit. Later on, we'll get you up to date with news of the local variety along with your Wall Street business update. Got a smattering of political ads for you and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. So it is 8:20. Let's go ahead and do the weather. Whether or not you like it, I think you like it. It'll be all right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, here it is.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore with your Pecos Valley weather. There's a large area of high pressure extending on in. We have a dry forecast here straight through Thursday night. Low end chances for rain returning by Friday. Partly to mostly sunny for Roswell, Carlsbad, and Artesia for today. Highs are up from the upper 60s to near 70. Clear out there tonight and a low 40 to 45. Plenty of sunshine through Tuesday. Looks like for Wednesday, too. Highs from the low to middle 70s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore.
Thank you, Jennifer. Currently 46 here in Roswell. Humidity is at 73%, and winds out of the north at 5 miles per hour. Today looking pretty nice. Partly cloudy, highs right around 71. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy, looking at an overnight low of 43 degrees. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tuesday, sunny, 75 tomorrow. Winds out of the south, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tomorrow night with an overnight low of 46 degrees and south winds 5 to 10. Warmer for you Wednesday, sunny, 77 for a high. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy Wednesday night with an overnight low of 49. Thursday, little smidge warmer, but breezy. Mostly sunny, 78 for a high and breezy. Friday, mostly sunny, back down into the 60s, 63. We do have a 20% chance at some rain showers Friday night. And then looking at the weekend, mostly sunny, 62 Saturday, sunny, and 73 on Sunday. So mostly just hanging around in the 70s. Around Thursday, Friday, a little wind, a little bit cooler there. But pretty nice week overall for, first full week of November. Well, not first full week because today's technically still October, but you know what I mean. All right, it is 22 minutes after 8 o'clock. Let's go ahead and take a 3.5-minute commercial break, and then we're going to play our interview with Amy McVeigh-Tejas. from the Historical Society, and Stephanie Seabreeze with Vitalent. That's up next. Don't go away.
Republicans and Democrats are pulling together to elect District Judge Eileen Reardon. Why? 32 years of legal experience, over 25 years experience in water law, including the Pecos River, Capitan Basin, the Ogallala Aquifer, and the Carlsbad Irrigation District. She was born and raised and educated right here in New Mexico, graduated from NMSU and UNM Law School. Vote for 5th District Court Judge Eileen Reardon, Division 1, Eddie Lee and Chavez County. Paid for by the committee to elect Judge Reardon. Steve McCutcheon, Treasurer.
I'm Judge Reardon, and I approve this message.
Buying a sewing machine from a big box store or online might seem like a bargain, but in this case, you really do get what you pay for. Just the machine. No lessons, no help with figuring out why it isn't working the way you expect, and no one close to fix it. Buying locally from an authorized retailer may cost a little more, but in the end, it will save you time, money, and aggravation. Come see me, Chris Ann, at So Easy Sewing, 200 East College Boulevard in Roswell, and let me show you why it pays to shop local. So Easy Sewing. You've never had it so easy.
This is John.
Hey, my name is John Jackson.
He's not some actor. He's a steward of the land with a John Deere 3 Series tractor. John runs with us. Nothing runs like a Deere. Get a 3 Series tractor with 0% APR for 72 months at your John Deere dealer today. For additional cost information, please call toll-free 855-633-2316.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia or Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
Tabosa Developmental Services wants you to be a part of their team. Roswell area applicants are needed for direct support professionals. No experience is necessary with on-the-job training. Get paid while you learn. A variety of shifts are available. Must be 18 with a valid driver's license and a high school diploma or GED. To learn more about a career with Tabosa Developmental Services, call 575-624-1025 or visit online at trytabosa.org. Tabosa Developmental Services is an equal opportunity employer.
Hello, we are Isai and Jonathan, student leaders from Nancy Lopez Elementary School. We invite our Nancy Lopez Falcon families to Family Literacy Night on Tuesday, November 1st from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Join our teachers for fun literacy games and information about our new core knowledge language arts program. The famous book character Lemony Snicket once stated, "All the secrets of the world are contained in books." Our Falcons build these literacy skills and knowledge each day that will help unlock these secrets. Strong readers build knowledge for a lifetime. Remember, Falcon families are invited to Nancy Lopez Elementary School's Family Literacy Night on Tuesday, November 1st from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. You will have a chance to win books and games plus pizza slices from Dion's Pizza. Keep reading!
The National Education Association of New Mexico, a union of teachers and school staff, believes every child deserves to learn at a school that inspires their imagination, cultivates their curiosity, and ensures a fulfilling life. Public schools should provide all our students with small class sizes and one-on-one attention. NEA New Mexico asks you to join us so together we can end the teacher and staff shortage and invest in our public education system once and for all. Sponsored by NEA New Mexico.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 47.2% of all statistics are made up on the spot. Is this true? I'd say chances are about 50%. Here's Mike Winters.
And joining us in studio this morning from the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico, Amy McVeigh is back with us. And then also from Vitalent, Stephanie Seabreeze back with us. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Good morning.
How's everybody doing?
We're good.
It's been a while since I've talked to you, Stephanie. I know you've been busy. I know the blood drives have been stacking up and getting. I think I get the lists and we talk every month, and that list keeps getting bigger and bigger. It seems like every month as more and more blood drives get on there, which is all good things, because we were just talking, with my wife and everything else, and sometimes the easiest and biggest thing you can do is roll up your sleeve and donate a pint of blood, and you're saving lives every single time you roll up that sleeve. That's a guarantee. And to me, that's, it's great. So it's great to see that you're starting to get the bloodmobile firing up the engines and hitting different places and hitting more and more places and things like that. So I'm guessing because of that, you're starting to see a little bit more donations come in and things. When, imagine during that hard part of COVID, there was a huge lull in some of that.
You know, our donors were so good
Good.
in Roswell, everywhere in southeast New Mexico.
Good.
I think we helped hold down the fort across the state, honestly.
So you all picked up the slack where other parts of the state.
Yeah, I mean, the donors are amazing. That's
Nice.
all I can say. But we did different things during COVID,
Sure.
too. That,
you have to get creative, didn't you?
Yeah,
To
and the
entice
community
people to come
stepped
out.
up and gave us big rooms, and it was just amazing. So
Good.
we are bringing in a lot of blood every month. We do 30 blood drives or so.
Well, and every one of them, and to be honest, you could probably do 30 more, and all of it would be used as, you know what I'm saying? There is never enough blood drives to
we're
get,
in a
to meet
critical
those
need
needs.
right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So, of course, the Historical Society has partnered with you for better part of a year now, I'm thinking, right?
I think we're going on. I
2
think
years
we'll
now.
go on 2 years.
Okay, 2 years now.
I was just driving over here thinking, and Mike, thank you. I mean, you're on our board. The Historical Society wants to make an intentional effort to give back.
Sure.
I mean, I think that's important. And we're in this for the long haul, so we'll continue this rotation. One thing I will say is for our regular Historical Society givers,
Amy,
they've stepped it up,
Amy
and they
kinda
went early.
Yeah.
So we're kind of short, Mike. I'm panicked because to my expectation, we should be full. Stephanie should be already worrying about where else they're going to go.
So
and
there's
I'm
still
like,
openings on Tuesday.
There's openings because ours stepped it up and gave early if they needed to and did that.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, so we need to extend our family.
Okay.
Our family needs to be extended.
and this is what I'm not trying to play favorites here. I'm not.
Right.
But every time the Historical Society hosts a blood drive, Amy goes out of her way to try to find freebies and swag and things for every person that donates. So more than likely, you're going to get more out of donating blood when you come to the Historical Society because literally
the first
Amy's
givers are going to get homemade bread. It's in the freezer and it's there. Come
Here,
on.
have this,
People
have
wait
this.
in line for homemade bread. It's Margaret Lackey's homemade bread.
So if you need a carrot dangled to perhaps donate a little more blood, I'm just saying.
There's
she
going to be
offers-
blessings.
Like the kids at Halloween, she's got the good candy. Is what I'm saying.
That's right. That's right. We're going to step it up.
So please don't get into a sugar coma on Monday, so you can't come out on Tuesday.
Right.
But yes, next Tuesday, November 1st, from noon until 4 p.m. The United Vitalant will have their bloodmobile.
We'll
I
be
still
united.
do it every once in a while.
We'll be united to support Vitalant.
Yeah, nice save. Nice save. But yes, Vitalant and the bloodmobile will be there from noon to 4. And like Amy was saying, we usually have our stable that donates, but they got picked up and donated.
They did.
Since the last blood drive here, so they're not able. They're not in the window where they can donate again. So we've got some openings for between noon and 4 here. We always like to get appointments, but by all means, if you just happen to be out and about, come on by. Sometimes, there's an opening, or we can work you in, so. But if you can be proactive, and we'll tell you how to book an appointment here in a minute. But if you can be proactive and try to get your appointment done, that way you can come in at the time that you scheduled. And Stephanie can tell you can do a little, if you've never donated before, you can kind of do a little pre-registration online. So when you get to the Historical Society on Tuesday, you're not eating up more time doing paperwork and all that. You can just kind of roll in, roll up your sleeve, eat your cookies and tea, and get all kinds of free swag from Amy.
That's right.
So none of us, everything's good there. So it's a good deal. But so I know that you can do it the high tech way. We've got you can go and scan was it UPC codes or whatever
the
those
QR
codes?
QR
QR codes. UPC. That's what you collected on your Wonder Bread thing to get the Star Wars cards. Remember that?
All the same thing.
I'm showing my age big time today. The new fangled codes.
Back in them days.
My day, we had to lick a stamp. But yeah, you can scan a code and get an appointment. But you can also call the Historical Society.
Absolutely. You could call 622-8333, or even I'll give my cell phone. You could literally text and state I'm a regular giver. Can you set me up an appointment? You can text me at 575-915-4471.
Yeah.
And I'll even go as far as saying if somebody texts me today, 575-915-4471, you're going to get an extra blessing. So there you go.
Extra swag.
Extra
sweet swag.
It's the time of giving, so we'll give extra blessings.
Absolutely.
And we want to encourage anybody, if they've already signed up, to bring your loose change. Every penny counts.
Absolutely.
And we are still
we're collecting.
We're still in the trenches fundraising, and literally every penny counts.
Yeah.
And we'll take
so we can fill the Coca-Cola bottles with the change, and then fill the things with the blood.
We're going to fill it up.
I don't know what those bags are called, but the bags.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
And now, as far as who can donate and all that, for folks that kind of give just a bit of a background, Stephanie, on, obviously chest, but generally, if the big disqualifiers and the big misnomers, because I know some people say I can't donate because of this. I'm like, oh, that was true 10 years ago, but that's not true now.
There's a lot of people that I'm going to think of a few things. I've run across people that have had cancer and used blood products in the past. They think they can't donate. If they've been cancer-free over a year, they most likely can donate.
Okay.
Diabetes is a big myth. As long as they have that under control, the medication doesn't stop them.
Okay.
And that's the same thing for high blood pressure.
Okay.
A big change that's came into place this last year is the known as the mad cow disease.
Yes.
Yeah, so our military wasn't allowed to donate.
Sure.
That restriction by the FDA has been lifted.
Okay. And that's been in place for years, right? Like 10, 15 years or something?
It was before I started because I have had to tell so many military people they can donate. Tattoos, that rule changed as well.
Okay.
It never was a lifetime deferral, but it was a year.
Right.
It's no longer a year. So if they get a tattoo in a shop, they can donate.
No prison tats, but professional. No prison tats, but professional
probably
tattoos.
A little bit of a wait.
Yeah.
But if they get it in a shop, it's a no wait time, and if they get it in a house, it's a 3-month wait time.
Okay,
so
very
there's some big ones right there.
Now, like you mentioned, the diabetes and high blood pressure, as long as they're controlled.
Right.
Does that even mean for diabetes if it's insulin controlled, or it doesn't matter if it's the pills or insulin, as long as you're controlled?
I had one call the other day, and there are medical questions that come up, and I have to reach out to my collection supervisor.
Gotcha.
And that just got it. I just had somebody ask me that, and so that one's okay.
Cool.
But
excellent. Well, that's good to know, because that frees up the pool. Because I imagine that unfortunately, you look at the numbers, and people, the percentage of population with diabetes right now is probably 10 times larger than it was 20 years ago, So
I just want to encourage people to not assume that they can't, right?
Right.
Come and get involved. And
absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And that's what you do. Yeah, that's why we want to, because a lot of people have said, oh, I can't do this because I have a tattoo, or, I served in so-and-so, and it's like, that doesn't count. I mean, there are still some restrictions. There are parts of the world that if you've been in
malaria
recently,
risk.
They're not going to let you donate right now. But if most of us don't fall under that category. There's maybe some missionaries or something that...
And even that depends on your travel. So, like, if it's a cruise, you're still going to be good.
Sure. It's when you're going to, like, third world place, like a missionary would, to go to, like, Africa or someplace.
And it even depends different, some parts of Africa are probably
okay. Yeah, exactly. Cool. And that all depends again,
and they're welcome to call and ask.
But your trip to the Bahamas with Carnival Cruise or Norwegian Cruise Line, you'll be A-okay. Your Disney cruise to the Caribbean will be just fine.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
But it is happening at the Historical Society. They're on Lee Street. They parked the Bloodmobile right there in that parking lot between the archive facility and the museum there. Mm-hmm. So come on down. Like you said, we really, really want you to pre-register because that way we make sure we utilize everybody's time.
That way me and Amy don't have a heart attack.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right. Give us a worry-free weekend.
There you go.
Get signed up today, tomorrow,
please.
please.
Come on out.
She's a blood drive beast.
I am. Well, I'm like, no, we got to fill it.
Amy's a beast at whatever she does. It doesn't matter what hat she's wearing. She's doing it 100 miles an hour.
Well, there's nothing in the world like getting a message stating that your blood saved a life.
Yeah.
Or your blood has helped. I mean, when you get those messages, and it's amazing to me how I get that message when, you're having a hard day or whatever, and then that comes through on the phone. I'm telling you, don't assume you can't.
Yeah.
Assume you can and make a difference. I mean, this is serious things here. Her and I talked, we have a lot of hard times at the museum. we're not saving lives, but partnering with Stephanie, we save lives. But we'll promote history and save lives together. So I think that's important. But a lot of people instinctively say, "Oh, I can't donate blood." Assume that you can. And if your doctor says you can't, you can't.
Sure.
You know, I get that. But assume that you can and try to help.
Absolutely.
Just help.
And then obviously we'd love to get you on that regular schedule where you donate a couple times a year.
Yep.
And for those folks, I remember one time, Stephanie, you brought a lady to us a couple years ago.
She came a couple of times with me, I think.
Yeah, and at that moment, and I'm sure it's higher now, she had donated like 20 gallons of blood.
Oh my
goodness. Over her time here in town. And
y'all know her very well.
Yeah.
She is just
it's amazing.
Yeah.
Just some of our givers, it's fascinating to me. It will show how many. And I mean, when I see triple digits of giving, I'm like, that is amazing.
Yeah, this lady faithfully every couple months or whatever.
She still does.
She's probably up to about 25 gallons about now.
I better check.
She can fill a gas tank now. I'm thinking about
us right now. You're amazing, donor. I love you.
She can fill a semi-truck gas tank right now with all the donations.
But imagine if so many of us did
a couple $100 worth of gasoline right there that she's donated.
That's so awesome. That's really cool. That
is cool. But because of people like her, you know, there's people that are alive today and are able to do that. So please, Stephanie, just to in case people aren't available Tuesday, is there a couple others coming up afterwards or around that time that we can kind of say, all right, you're not available Tuesday, but come see us Thursday or next Tuesday or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the list with me, but they could always call the office.
And I didn't print it off right now because I'm an idiot.
And your website's so good because I know somebody called and they said they couldn't on Tuesday, and they had already looked it up and said, oh, yeah.
Well, thank you to those people for doing that.
We have a really big blood drive coming up in December.
Okay.
I mean, in November, excuse me.
Okay.
NEMI.
Oh, NMMI. Okay.
We're doing a small college.
Well, I imagine you get a lot of.
That's exciting.
And I imagine every just about every student that's eligible probably donating.
Yeah, and they allow the community. I mean,
Good.
they've been supporters of the
See,
blood
it's
drive.
probably all hands on deck for you guys. Every phlebotomist available probably needs to be on scene for
everyone
that.
that I have will be there. And it's we're doing it the second annual small blood drive competition. It's cool. I'm doing a quick blurb.
We love the brand.
Awesome.
We had two colleges last year, and it was Eastern and Portales, or three, excuse me. And they are the ones that wanted to get this going. And then this year we've added two more.
Awesome.
So I'm hoping in November we can even grow it.
That's
and
awesome.
that'll help with the
It
holiday.
could get as big as like Battle of the Badges.
That's one of the biggest
summer events.
Yeah, we have one in
exciting.
Texas and a couple more in New Mexico across
That's
the state.
exciting.
Good. And to be honest, just to give folks a little inside baseball, the reason they do some of that stuff during the summer is because that's a down period for donations. Fortunately, our schools are very good resources for blood donations. High schools, things like that. Well, guess what's not happening in the summer months? School. Right. So donations drop off. So we have to do things like Battle of the Badges and things to kind of remind people, hey, just because it's summer don't mean that the need for blood does not slow down here.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's, we
Roswell
talk about
High
this.
has one coming up too.
Good.
And
Good.
they do amazing. I mean, we love our high schools as
Absolutely.
well.
So please come support. Come Tuesday. Come call Amy
Tuesday.
here or scan the UR code here, which we have on our Facebooks and all that.
Right.
For the Historical Society and Vitalin, I think.
That's right. And it's on our website at roswellmhistory.org.
Yeah.
And I know we've posted it on Instagram and Facebook,
It looks
too.
like this for
And it's
folks.
even on, I know the chamber announcements weekly, so it gives
It
you.
looks like that.
But, or you can, they can always call 622-8333, text me at 575-915-4471.
Yeah, absolutely.
And,
so anything on the historical side of things that we want to put on people's radar?
I was just looking. It is the time of giving, and we give back. But at the end of the day, we are still, as of this week, we've had some unfortunate damage done to our exterior with some units. Well, units and So our capitalized project amount just went up. We want to encourage people, and that's a non-ending. Well, it is, and it's an old home.
We fix one thing, and
it is one thing. So individuals listening, any way you can give through a membership, minimal is $30. If you're hosting an event and need the archive facility, we'd love to have that.
Absolutely.
We will have a booth at the Holiday Magic.
Oh,
that's
good.
coming up, and high five. That's part of talk about history. Holiday Magic has been blessing cheer.
Absolutely.
My mom
and
helped
speaking
start
of history,
yes.
if you do not leave the Holiday Magic show without a pumpkin roll
or a cookie,
you're not doing it right. You shouldn't even come. You should stay home because the pumpkin roll is amazing.
It's true. That's what it's all.
I don't even like pumpkins.
We have to give her a shout out, Deborah Lucas. You have been blessing people for all my life with those the amazingness of pumpkin rolls and cookies. But Holiday Magic is the 18th and 19th. God bless them. They're just part of the history of celebrating holiday church. We'll have booths there. Donna Blake Birchall and Tom LeMay will be there signing books. If you missed our Spooky Southwest event and need autographed copies of those books, we have them. You can call the museum and get more information. We'll ship books and just whatever we need to do.
Absolutely, yeah. And think about that, with the holidays around the corner.
Yeah.
Our website, every book and painting you purchase does help. Fix things like they keep breaking over at the museum house there.
Oh my goodness! We will
buy an old house. It's a good idea, they said.
We will do a PSA soon. We're gonna do a fun drive-through of lights. We'll have more information about that. We're just confirming a couple of things and getting things in order before. Oh goodness! But you know what? We're better together.
Absolutely.
And goodness gracious, is our community good to support? Whether it's blood, whether it's giving, we're blessed to be in a community that really celebrates giving.
Yep.
And we always come together to do good for others.
Absolutely.
And I think, and something else, Mike, we haven't been on the radio to talk about. It's a very, very, very important project. Sergeant Fescus with the Roswell Police Department. It is Preserving Chihuahuita Project. If you need to know more about that project, I am telling you, and it's an amazing, very exciting project.
Is it like a rehab deal? Or
yes.
Okay.
And Sergeant Frescus is very passionate to celebrate the history of that area.
Okay.
And that's something, you know what, the Archives facility doesn't have a lot of photos and images of that area. So if your family legacy, those amazing family books that you keep in the family and then eventually somebody throws away, don't let that happen.
Well, maybe
Let's get those photos scanned in. If you have artifacts, if you need to know more about the Preserving Chihuahuita Project, you can call Sergeant Frescus to the Roswell Police Department, or just call the museum at 622-8333.
Okay.
And can get more information about how to get involved, including a cleanup that's going to happen
She's
very
one of the Neighborhood Watch.
Yes, she sure
RPD.
is.
So if you want to deal with Neighborhood Watch,
you better believe
she's the one you talk to.
And that's something else. She has really gotten a lot of groups together for Neighborhood Watch. So high five to her. She was with Leadership Roswell.
Yeah.
I'm thankful to call her a dear friend. But she's ready. She's ready to clean up Roswell and partner with Clean Up Roswell and get it all going and celebrating history and all these fun things. It's just a great connection to make for us to. But there is a cleanup coming the first weekend in November. So for more information,
it'd be cool if people do donate and find through their scrapbooks and archives, some of the old historical photos of that area, the Chihuahuita area, the life of that area. Maybe if we get enough of that, we can do a special display at the museum during the time. Hey, you hear about the Chihuahuita project?
Let me tell you.
Here's a little bit of
and we need to. And I know Sergeant Frescus will come on. There's a lot of people working on this project, and including John Mike. But let me give you a little vision of hers. There would be that that certain museum in Chihuahuita to celebrate all that.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? And with some neat signage and I think that's in all. But it's very, very exciting. And like I said, when we started looking at photos, we didn't have a lot of photos. It's amazing to me. A lot of times in our archives, you assume we'll have thousands of this and not as much. You never know.
Sure.
But we are as good as our givers, if you will. So we obtain information. So as a matter of fact, we're going to collect some fun maps and different things today about that area.
Okay.
So if individuals want to get more involved, call the museum. We'll link them up with Sergeant
Volunteers,
Frescus.
if you're a history buff and love digging and researching and are looking for a project, we just found one for you. And of course, we'd love to. And of course, if you want to learn more and use that to become maybe a member of the Historical Society.
Become a member.
That's one way that
Scholarships are coming up. We're going to be offering New Mexico Youth Challenge Academy scholarships.
We're
They're
right around the
graduating
corner
in
for that,
December, and then we'll have over $10,000 in scholarships for high school seniors.
Wow.
If they want to get involved now, there's a wonderful opportunity to volunteer.
Is this
so
all still just the Hayes Trust, or is this bigger than Hayes now?
It's gotten bigger.
It's gotten
For example,
bigger.
give a shout out to the Character Council and Chaves County Health Council. They immediately said, we're on board.
Oh, good.
And they're becoming scholarships. So let me be very clear. We will be offering New Mexico Youth Challenge Academy scholarships for the graduating cadets in December. And then in January or February, we will come out with all of our high school scholarships.
Gotcha. Okay.
And it's not... encourage those high school kids to get involved today. And I'm still challenging schools to have history clubs. We bring the swag, we bring the food, we bring the presenters. Let's get these kids excited about history.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So reach out to your high school.
Yes, and have them call
things.
Amy Tejas at the museum, and we can basically, you know me, in the car will be everything they need to start a history club. We'll come to you.
There you go.
All you have to do is call.
And she'll show up.
And,
like
and
that.
there's
You
an
don't think
author that will go to
will.
present right away. But we just want these kids to get involved and
Absolutely.
have fun. And we can.
Well,
It's a lot of
let's
fun.
face it, we're grooming the next generation of
That's
people to
right.
keep the you
That's
know.
right.
At some point, the people that serve at the Historical Society board and stuff, they're going to get too old to be doing this stuff and too tired of doing this stuff.
It'll be our kids.
And so we need those next generations
Right.
to step up and start understanding and learning and getting involved now. That's a great thing. Like when we do our various events, whether it's one of our drive-through events or a blood drive or any or when the kids arts program do their events out there, any of those. You know, we do have a stable of you know, kids that are, you know, teenage age that are helping and supporting as well, whether it's helping us with 50/50 tickets or helping us, you know, load baskets of stuff
or
to
giving
somebody
tours
or giving
anything.
tours. We have some great kids that
We do.
are, and they're our future and they're the ones. So it makes me happy every time I see these 14-year-olds or 15-year-olds and they're out there.
They're getting excited,
helping out. In any
They're
way,
making
shape, or
us
form.
step it up.
Because
That's what you like
they're,
to
they're
see.
going to be the board presidents and the mayors and the city
and
business owners.
the next Stephanie.
And the next one telling you please donate blood and all that stuff.
That's right.
Absolutely, and that's what and this is why everybody does what we do. You know, I'm sure Stephanie and you know and as the labor of love that is collecting blood and stuff, but all of it's just to, you know, get things ready for the next generation here. And
it's never
and
too
saving
late.
lives.
And I can't thank Stephanie enough. Her and I have known each other for years. I mean, our kids have gone to school together, but I'm so thankful she made the first call to get us involved because it's one of those things. I don't have any answer why we haven't been doing it in the past, but let's not talk about why we haven't.
Yeah,
let's
go
get
ahead and do it.
going. And now we won't stop.
Better
as
late
far
than
as
never
As
sometimes,
far as I'm
yeah.
concerned, we're involved. We won't stop. So those are just legacies that we need to continue.
Absolutely. So next Tuesday, November 1st, from noon to 4 p.m., the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico is hosting a blood drive with Vitalant. The Bloodmobile will be there. There are still appointment slots available. You can call Amy McVeigh-Tejas directly, 575-915-4471. Is that your number? Yeah,
that's right.
I was
Myself.
I just started reading numbers.
That's
I was
right.
like, wait a minute, is that your number?
The 4471's my cell. The office number 622-8333.
That's why I was like, that number-
we'll make the magic happen to make them in as far as times and stuff.
And then-
all I do is call Stephanie. She'll make the magic
She'll make
happen.
it.
We'll make it all
And-
loaded.
Yeah, she's like, I just.
She's got no
You
problem.
call that number, I call her, and we call her. Or you can get on to look for the Historical Society's Facebook page, Vitalant's Facebook page, and look for the post that's got the QR code for those online here. And that way you just scan that with your phone. Matter of fact, if I do this right, some of you might be able to scan your phone right now.
Man.
And do that. Sorry, I didn't mean to cover your head, Amy.
That's all right. Hey, that's more important. Hey, that's perfect. That's perfect.
But
Just like
maybe if you can, scan that right now. But if not, go to our Facebook, and then you can scan
Instagram
that
and Facebook,
and get your
we've
appointment and all that good stuff there. Stephanie, is there anything that you wanted to mention that we didn't get a chance to talk about, or anything outside of this event that we want to?
No, I always say the same thing when you do this to me at the end is I like to say thank you to the donors. You know?
Well, another reason why.
And going to that young generation, we do need them to step up and donate blood.
Yeah.
Our older generation that donated religiously is leaving us.
So all those high school, when you go and try to get out of class in high school to donate blood, keep doing that after high school.
Yeah, it ain't a one-time deal. We do need them to step up and become more regular.
I just got goosebumps thinking about a kid that starts when they're 18.
Yeah.
And if they did that faithfully,
Yeah.
impact.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about our
Or
lady
20
with
20 gallons here. They're going to be in that category.
Really
Yeah.
could be amazing. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Amy's amazing. I need to add that too. I'm going to get my membership in just a minute. And then I'm going to do this and
But
this
you know
and
what
this,
I love? I just remembered is I love when they get the cords at graduation for giving blood.
Yeah.
For graduate. They do that
It's
now.
a cool little
I
token.
love
3
that.
donations and they get a cord.
That's
to
nice.
wear.
So
Because
I want
it's
to
important
challenge
to
all
honor those.
kids to get that cord.
And
Imagine if all the kids got the cord.
And that's an amazing event to
I
do
would
that.
definitely need more staff and buses.
But I would
But
love
that's an
to
amazing
challenge
event to
get
do
the
that.
cord. Yeah, and because we're always giving out the scholarships,
Sure.
and that is part of them getting
Well, and it
corded,
raises
and
awareness
that's
because
amazing.
I'm sure parents and things like, why has that one got that cord there? And
That's
it's like,
right.
They donate
and
blood.
then here the
Oh.
kids have and the parents haven't. So let the kids be the example and encourage
So
the
imagine
kids.
it does inspire some people,
It
like,
does.
or
It
the
definitely
juniors
does.
saying, I'd like to have that
Yes.
for mine
Yeah,
when I
that's
walk.
right,
I'm
for
going to
sure.
donate. Yeah, absolutely.
Love that.
So what a great idea. Love that. I think they should, do it in scouts and stuff too. Oh, you get a merit
All of
badge
that.
for it, or you get an extra
We
ribbon
need
or
to-
something like that.
But
I
we
think
need to
it's
put
great.
that challenge in all of our organizations.
Absolutely.
All of our organizations that Mike and I and everybody's involved with. If we challenge all of us to be blood donors, that'd be amazing. We need to do
Absolutely.
that. We have to step it up.
But if you can't make it Tuesday because you've already donated or just life is too hectic that day, please you can go to vitalent.org.
Yeah, they can always call me too. So if there's
Okay.
medical questions or things they're not sure about, please feel free to reach
Yes.
out to me.
Yeah. And she can-
575-840-8178.
Yeah, and be sure to ask about the link and stuff. If it's your first time donating and you want to kind of do the pre-registration and
Called the
answer all the
Fast Track.
questions.
We can take care of all of that.
Yeah.
Any questions at all. If you're
Absolutely.
not sure, give me a call. If you want to know a blood drive, I can help with that too.
Absolutely. And please understand, you are saving lives. Every time you show up there, spend half hour, 40 minutes, donating blood, eating cookies and tea or juice or whatever, and doing all that stuff. It really does save a life. It's I always say it's probably one of the easiest things you can do to help others that requires the least amount of work on your part. Like the work to benefit ratio is huge in donating blood, because really at the end of the day it's 30 minutes you sitting there relaxing.
Right.
While some blood drains out of you. Then you go on about your day, and that's just it. You saved a life. Where else can you tell me sitting around being comfortable for 45 minutes just save lives? I mean, that's in essence what you're doing here. So if you want to help people, but you're like kind of lazy,
Perfect.
donating blood is your jam.
There you go. There you go. I like it. That's awesome.
Good deal. And then again, of course, if any questions related to Historical Society, if you want to do a little shopping, some Peter Hurd prints or books, RoswellNMHistory.org, becoming a member, want to learn about
We have gift cards,
running the archive facility.
and bring your loose change on Tuesday or anytime.
Yeah.
Collect that loose change. We can even pick it up. You can call the museum at 622-8333.
Yeah.
Collect the loose change. We'll pick it up.
Depends on how much you have. It will decide on which person because if it's just a little bit, then we can send Amy. But if it's like
Sweet Robin, if you're listening, one of our
It's
volunteers, Mike, she was loading it up.
Yeah.
She had picked stuff up, and it was a big
there's a
old-
reason why John LeMay works out, so he can pick up those heavy
There you
bottles.
go.
So-
If we need John LeMay to pick it up, I'm sure he'll be happy
That's right.
to.
He's
There you
sculpting his gun so he can pick up them heavy bottles. So very
That's
good.
right.
Well, thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
it, and we'll see you all next time.
We
Okay.
appreciate it.
So, very
That's
good.
right.
Well, thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
it, and we'll see you all next time.
We
Okay.
appreciate it.
All right. It is 9:52.
Now for your
Let's get
Pecos
you-
Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. With just over a week to go before the formal election day, Republicans are far outpacing Democrats in early voting in southeast New Mexico. As of the end of Saturday, 1,724 Eddy County Republicans had cast an early ballot, while just 780 Eddy County Democrats had done so. 150 other ballots were returned by voters registered as unaffiliated. The last day to request an absentee ballot is November 3rd. The last day to vote early is November 5th. New Mexico saw a record-breaking number of almost 40 million visitors last year, according to a new report this week by the state's tourism office. The study determined 39.2 million people came to the land of enchantment and generated $7.2 billion in spending across the state. Friday football and some Saturday football. The Bulldogs blew out Mayfield on Saturday 35-0. Roswell also beat Goddard on Friday 42-7. Carlsbad lost 42-7 on Friday to Hobbs, and Dexter took the big L to Ruidoso 43-6. Now you're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
This is the owner of Trustmark Roofing, and nothing makes us happier than telling our customers no. As in, no pricing games. We give you a guaranteed price, and then we stand by it. No surprises, no gotchas. No obscurity. We don't just tell you what's wrong with your roof. We record our inspections and show you. No lemons. We install premium roofing materials from top brands like Owens Corning. No shortcuts. We're in the 2% of roofers with the Owens Corning Preferred Contractor Certificate for our local area. This means we offer precision installation and the longest warranties. Want a beautiful new roof that's built to last? Choose Trustmark Roofing, the roofer that loves to tell our customers no. For an estimate, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Hello, we are Nevaeh and Sophia, student leaders from Nancy Lopez Elementary School. We invite the families of Nancy Lopez to our Family Literacy Night on Tuesday, November 1st from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Learn about our new core knowledge language arts program and join our teachers for fun literacy games. You will have the chance to win books and reading games, plus pizza slices from Dion's Pizza. Keep reading.
Mark Ronchetti talks and talks. A lot. Problem is, he lies and lies a lot, too. The ads about the governor letting killer Chris Beltran out early are flat out untrue. KOB-TV fact-checked Department of Corrections documents, and they called the ads, quote, inaccurate. They found that corrections released Beltran after he completed his sentence because, quote, he served his time. Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham had nothing to do with it. The truth is, Mark Ronchetti is exploiting a tragedy to get himself elected, not to protect us. He would roll back Michelle Lujan Grisham's heavy investment in beefing up our state police and local law enforcement. An independent study by a former state finance department secretary shows that the proposals on Ronchetti's own website would cut public safety, education, and health care by billions of dollars. Mark Ronchetti should never be governor. He'll make us less safe.
Paid for by New Mexicans for Michelle.
Approved by Michelle Lujan Grisham.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and early detection saves lives. Take care of yourself by staying up to date on your mammograms at Artesia General Hospital. Their 3D mammography brings you the most accurate technology with your comfort and convenience in mind. Appointments average just 15 minutes. If you're a woman over age 40, you don't need a doctor's referral to schedule a mammogram. Remember, early detection saves lives. Request your appointment today at artesiageneral.com/mammogram.
No static at all. Your new home for talk radio is KEND Roswell.
And we're closing in on 9 o'clock. Town Hall News up next. We'll be back on the other side. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The Supreme Court is hearing arguments focusing on race-based admission policies employed by many colleges and universities. It's the second time in 6 years the High Court has taken up the issue of affirmative action. The court hearing two cases, one involving the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, the other Harvard. Looks like a leftist will be taking over the presidency of Brazil again. Former President Lula da Silva managing a razor-close victory over Jair Bolsonaro in Brazil's presidential election. Correspondent Camila Costa with BBC Brazil.
It is indeed a historic moment for Brazil, and it happens just 3 days after the anniversary of 20 years of Lula's first election, when he was the first left-wing president to be elected in Brazil. So it's quite a momentous time for him, for the left in Brazil, and for the country at large, especially, obviously, for all the people who wanted Bolsonaro out.
Bolsonaro has yet to concede defeat. A political action committee throwing additional support behind Republican Senate challenger Blake Masters with a hefty new ad buy targeting Democrat incumbent Mark Kelly.
Saving Arizona PAC filed that it spent more than $3.7 million on an ad campaign targeting Kelly, bringing its total spending in the race to about $10.7 million. Of the new ad buy, about $3.7 million is for ads opposing Kelly, and about $35,000 are going towards ads supporting Masters in the final stretch leading up to the November 8th general election. The Super PAC was originally funded in part by billionaire Peter Thiel, who put in a record $15 million to help his protege Masters win the GOP Senate nomination in the August primary. Bernie Bennett reporting.
On Wall Street, the Dow down 149 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Charlie Dombeck here from Key City Capital. As a practicing CPA for nearly 30 years, I have found that 80% of your ability to grow your wealth is dependent upon two factors: taxes and investment performance. At Key City Capital, we improve investment performance by diversifying capital into off-market investment opportunities in passive rental real estate and alternatives like asset-backed lending. We recover dollars that clients unnecessarily pay in the form of income taxes, creating a lifetime annuity of savings. We are a sponsor of passive, affordable single and multifamily residential rental investments, which are located in Sunbelt landlord-friendly states. These investments are the top choices in a rising interest rate and inflationary environment. They represent a store of value, protecting your capital from market volatility. Learn how we at Key City Capital can help you ultimately grow your wealth rapidly. Connect with me at keycitycapital.com or give me a call at 817-912-1569.
Poland has chosen the U.S. government and Westinghouse to build the Central European country's first nuclear power plant.
In a move to gain greater energy independence, Poland chose to partner with the United States after considering offers from France and South Korea. Poland is planning to spend $40 billion to build 2 nuclear power plants with 3 reactors each. The deal with the U.S. and Westinghouse is for the first 3 reactors. The Energy Department said the project would create or sustain more than 100,000 jobs for American workers. Greg Clugston, Washington.
A massive barrage of Russian airstrikes this morning hitting critical infrastructure in Kiev, Kharkiv, and other cities in Ukraine in apparent retaliation for what Moscow alleged was a Ukrainian attack on its Black Sea fleet over the weekend. Loud explosions were heard across the Ukrainian capital in the early morning hours. News and analysis, townhall.com. Apple sales and its profits rose in the latest quarter.
And while that depressed the fortunes of other major tech companies, it doesn't necessarily mean the iPhone giant will be immune to a potential recession. Even though Apple fared well, the July-September results signaled the world's most valuable company is facing some of the same economic headwinds that hammered the profits of Microsoft and corporate parents of both Google and Facebook. Both Apple's revenue and earnings topped analyst estimates, but its iPhone sales missed projections in a potentially troubling sign. Jason Walker reporting.
Seoul, and for that matter all of South Korea, mourning the deaths of more than 150 people. They died in a crush of partygoers over the weekend in Seoul. Nearly 150 other people were injured. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Travelician, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3 of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Halloween.
Yes.
Happy Monday.
I could never do a good evil laugh. Nope.
Yeah.
I think you have to like actually laugh.
Yeah.
To do a good evil laugh, but I could never do it.
Yeah.
I'm too jovial.
Yeah, it all turns out to a moo-ha-ha.
Yeah. Mwah-ha-ha-ha.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of... Yeah, you just gotta have it's got to be more of a cackle,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like witch style, like, or the more Vincent Price. Yeah.
Mike and I on Friday were comparing our different spooky voices, like the ones that our go-tos, the ones we do really good. Mine just sounds like an evil Stewie from Family Guy. It's like, beware, you're in for a scare.
See, to me, that's almost Crypt Keeper.
Kind of Vincent Price with Little Crypt Keeper.
Yeah. And mine in my head very
y'all's neighborhood.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, happy Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Hope you're having a good one. We got a interview this hour we're gonna replay. We had Joanne Lopez with the Chaves County Health Council join us about a week and a half ago.
Yep.
And she gave us an update, but she also brought with her Joanne Palomino with the New Mexico Department of Health.
The Joannes.
And Joanne, and she got her sister on the phone. And they're starting an organization. Her name is not Joanne, unfortunately.
Awesome. Daryl, my other brother Daryl, these are the Joannes.
Yeah, right. And so they joined us, and we had a conversation. They're talking about mental health and that kind of stuff. Had a great little conversation. So I thought I'd play that for you here in just a few. Don't forget early voting. You got 1 week left. Get that done through this Saturday, and then after this week. You have to wait till Election Day next Tuesday. So if you hope to early vote on Monday, you won't be able to.
Nope. Got to get it done this a week.
They shut her down Sunday. So
you just talking about mental health. It reminds me of that song Metal Health.
Mm-hmm.
And
bang your head.
Yeah, that's the one. So for most of my life, I thought that the lyric right after the words "bang your head" was "metal helmets on demand."
That would just be handy.
It would. Like, if you're going to be banging your head, you're going to want a helmet. Hey, ask for one on demand. We'll get you a metal helmet.
Yeah. I mean, just how many other situations in life could use a metal helmet?
I used to get laughed at because they were like, oh, mental health, it's our demand. Oh, that actually makes more sense. You're right. But I just thought they were being generous. Hey, if you're going to be banging your head at our concerts, just ask. We'll get you a helmet.
Yeah. Still my favorite's Monster Truck for my wife. That's still my favorite.
That's great. Well, and then there's, you get ruined on certain songs. The song, I can't remember who does it. Is Jay Giles maybe? My Kind of Lover, that song.
Uh-huh.
So early on in my marriage with my kid's mom, she said that growing up, they always thought the song was My Candelabra. And so that's all I can hear now when I hear that song. My candelabra, my candelabra. Dude's just really happy about his candle holder.
I like a good candle holder. Yeah. Well, see, Liberace would have to do a cameo on My Candelabra.
Yeah, I would agree.
Just, you can't.
Piano candelabra.
He needs a piano solo in the middle or something. But happy Halloween. Hopefully you are getting ready for your Halloween. Liberace should be a good Halloween costume.
Liberace,
sleep on Liberace.
Yeah, Liberace would be a good one. So Tiny Tim also.
It's like Elvis, but with a lot more bling.
Mm-hmm.
It's the pompadour, the jumpsuit, just more bling, and you'll be Liberace.
Yeah. I actually watched over the weekend, non-connected to what you're talking about, but over the weekend I watched that Jimmy Savile documentary.
Oh, yeah.
On Netflix.
Pretty horrifying.
You want to go? Yeah, it really is. You want to go as a Halloween costume, go as Jimmy Savile. Only problem is around here,
no one know who he is.
Everybody think you're Ric Flair.
Right.
The whole time I'm watching that, I'm like, he looks so much like Ric Flair.
Well, it's that crazy hair of his.
Yeah, shock white hair.
Yeah.
But also that he wrestled. Like, wait, what?
Yeah, he did a lot of. He's a dumb DJ at the end of the day. That's what he was. A dumb radio DJ that
stunt
blew
boy.
Up. Yeah, turned into having the right arm of the Queen and the Prime Minister and everybody else, and Turns out he's a pederast. So anyway, that'll be a nice Halloween story for the family to gather around tonight. And you're on Netflix. Get out there.
If you're looking for a good horror story, that's definitely a good one.
It's a good, interesting documentary.
It is.
Joking aside, but Jimmy Savile's like, I guess.
The way I likened him was he's like what Mr. Rogers is to us.
Yeah.
He is over there, only more because he was also like the biggest DJ. He's like Mr. Rogers, Casey Kasem, and like
Willard Scott.
Yeah, Willard Scott, kind of all rolled into one person.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, the hearts of Britain loved him. And then they found out he was a creepo.
Yeah, and
he went from like
he figured out you refuse to believe the stuff that people say about him.
But he was loved in people invited him to his house and everything else. And, and turns out he was a creepo. But anyway, I'm going to play that interview that we talked about earlier with the Joannes. And then don't forget, we will not have any kind of high school football this week because our 3 schools are they're too good. They got first round buys, so they will all be watching this week and see who they play next weekend.
Yep.
So we are high school football free this weekend, but next weekend we'll be hot and heavy, probably Friday and Saturday night, or Friday and Saturday afternoon with both those. Or all 3 schools.
So this would be a good week to go back and watch the district season. See how it all played out and figure it out for yourself. And you can do just that at ksvptv.com.
Ooh, the bell worked well that time, too. Good. I was waiting for a big punk. It is 12 minutes after 9. Let's take a gander at your weather, which is pretty all right. Mid-70s, not too bad. Like Thursday, it's going to get a little breezy, and we might get a smidge of rain Friday. But other than that, pretty good week overall.
Smidge of rain.
Smidge.
I like it.
It comes in smidge variety.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore with your Pecos Valley weather. There's a large area of high pressure extending on in. We have a dry forecast here straight through Thursday night. Low-end chances for rain returning by Friday. Partly to mostly sunny for Roswell, Carlsbad, and Artesia for today. Highs are up from the upper 60s to near 70. Clear out there tonight in a low 40 to 45. Plenty of sunshine through Tuesday. Looks like for Wednesday, too. Highs from the low to middle 70s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore.
Thank you, Jennifer. Currently 47 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 74%. Ooh, reversal. Palindrome. Anyway, is it coincidence? It sure is. Just big old coincidence. Winds currently out of the north, 7 miles per hour. Partly cloudy today, 71 for a high. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy, overnight low of 43. Winds out of the south, 5 to 10. Tuesday, a little bit warmer, mostly sunny, 75 for a high tomorrow. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 46. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Looking at the rest of the week, smidge warmer for your Wednesday. Partly cloudy, 77 for a high. South winds 5 to 15. Thursday, mostly sunny and breezy, high of 78. And that's going to bring in cooler temperatures for for Friday. Mostly sunny, highs around 63 on Friday. And then just kind of glancing at your weekend, Saturday, we're going to hang in the 60s, 62 and mostly sunny, and then back up into the low 70s on Sunday, 73 for a high there. All right, it is 9:14. We're going to take a 3-minute break. 2 political ads in this one, and then we'll play our interview with Joanne Lopez and Joanne Palomino. Don't go away.
This is a call to action. I'm Michelle Garcia Holmes, and I'm running for United States Congress. There's so much at stake this election cycle. The life of the unborn, your safety, the cost of living, and most of all, our religious freedom. I'm calling on every Christian from every church to step out of the pews and go to the polls and cast your vote. I ask for your vote. Send a woman of faith to Washington that will protect and stand strong for our values.
Paid for by Garcia Holmes for Congress.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and early detection saves lives. Take care of yourself by staying up to date on your mammograms at Artesia General Hospital. Their 3D mammography brings you the most accurate technology with your comfort and convenience in mind. Appointments average just 15 minutes. If you're a woman over age 40, you don't need a doctor's referral to schedule a mammogram. Remember, Early detection saves lives. Request your appointment today at artesiageneral.com/mammogram.
Hello, we are Isai and Jonathan, student leaders from Nancy Lopez Elementary School. We invite our Nancy Lopez Falcon families to Family Literacy Night on Tuesday, November 1st from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Join our teachers for fun literacy games and information about our new core knowledge language arts program.
The famous book character Lemony Snicket once stated, "All the secrets of the world are contained in books." Our Falcons build these literacy skills and knowledge each day that will help unlock these secrets. Strong readers build knowledge for a lifetime. Remember, Falcon families are invited to Nancy Lopez Elementary School's Family Literacy Night on Tuesday, November 1st from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. You will have a chance to win books and games, plus pizza slices from Dion's Pizza. Keep reading!
Think your vote doesn't matter? Think about this. Michelle Lujan Grisham and progressives in Santa Fe forced thousands of small family businesses to close, many to never open again. They forced our children to stay away from schools, setting their educations back by months or perhaps years. They forced you to stand in lines outside grocery stores during the coldest months of the year. They violated their own mandates while threatening to use state police to enforce their mandates on the rest of us. And Lujan Grisham and her friends did it all while New Mexico ranked last in the nation on education, last in economic opportunity, and last in public safety. Still think your vote doesn't matter? Think again. Don't make excuses like the Democrats in Santa Fe. Go vote Republican on Tuesday, November 8th. Paid for by the Republican Party of Chaves County. Not paid or authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Did you know you share your birthday with at least 9 million other people in the world? Your birthday isn't feeling so special now, is it? Here's Mike Winters.
And joining us in studio this morning, Joanne Lopez with the Chaves County Health Council and Joanne Palomino back with us. It's been a while since we talked to you at the New Mexico Department of Health. Good morning. Yeah, it's been about 3 years. Good morning, ladies. How y'all doing?
Great.
Good. Good.
A little bit cold out there.
Yeah, it is this morning. It's supposed to get nice though later today. So the coat you're wearing this morning, you're going to be shedding them by probably lunchtime today. Right. So, but first off, give us an update on the Health Council.
Yes, sir.
Of course, you guys have been pretty busy, and I know you had a little bit of a breather after the health fair here, which has been about a month now here, well, no, it's August. Man, it's October already. What is happening? I feel like time's zipping by. Yeah, I know. But you guys have been keeping busy. So.
Yes, sir, we have. The year coming up again, we're going to start the projects all over again.
Good deal.
So as far as the Health Expo, we'll be calling pretty soon about sponsorships to start getting that moving already.
August will be back before we know it.
Absolutely,
so,
absolutely.
But you guys do meet monthly and love to invite the public and more people that are interested in being a part of the Health Council to come out to these meetings.
Yes, and right now we're building our capacity. So this Friday we do have an executive meeting at 9 a.m.
Okay.
And it's via Zoom, so you would have to call either 211 and I could give you information.
Okay.
Or you could call 575-500-2294.
Okay.
And I can get the Zoom link to you.
Okay.
But if anybody that would like to just see what we're about, enjoy a meeting and let's see if we can't get you involved and make our community a better place.
Well, and that's for folks that aren't aware, that 211 number is the Chaves County Health Council's kind of information hotline.
Yes.
If you need to help find a doctor or have any health-related questions.
Well, and not just health-related.
Community-related, yeah.
Anything, If I don't have a resource already, I send out an email to our
Get in front of that mic there so you can hear you a little bit better.
If I don't have a resource ready, I'll just send an email out to the council. And we got many members in various types of professions.
Yeah.
And, we get the information. We get a phone number. Now, we do not have the funds when you call in for us to give you the money for your rent or something like that.
Sure.
We give you the resource. And then you still have to do the work as far as calling and trying to get.
Sure. But you're there to help and offer solutions and give people options for, if it's that kind of stuff or if you're wanting information about meetings and events and the Health Council or anything, that 211, obviously 911 if you've got medical emergencies and things.
Yes.
But if you're just looking for resources and things like that, whether it's to pay the bills or to find a healthcare professional or something in between, 211 is a number to call.
Yes.
Is it like 911? Or you don't want people calling you 2 a.m, do you? If
I hear the phone and wake up, I'll answer.
Gotcha. But if Joanne sounds a little groggy, it is 2 in the morning.
Maybe the wrong number, but it'll be okay.
but obviously, if you're calling 2 a.m, make sure if it's emergency, call 911. All joking aside, but I imagine if you are having, some people just live different schedules, I guess, and Joanne will help you when she can.
Absolutely. But again, the meeting, executive meeting is this Friday, and please just pop in and let's see if it's something you'd like to be a part of.
Yeah. Now, is there going to be a link to the Zoom on the Health Council's Facebook page
yes,
too?
on the Facebook page, we'll have it on there also.
So if you like and follow Chaves County Health Council on Facebook, they'll find the link for this for the Zoom meeting there too.
Yes, sir.
But if you have trouble with that or you don't do Facebook, 211 is probably
3 numbers. 211.
Yeah, that's the. I mean, you can call the 575, but why do extra numbers when you don't have to? Work smarter, not harder.
Absolutely.
That's, now you can save those fingers for later. More digits you get it up.
Absolutely.
So, Joanne, kind of give us. I should probably Joanne Palomino. I say Joanne. I was like, what? Give it. What's now that. We're living in the post-COVID world. Life is kind of starting to return back to normal at the Department of Health as far as procedures and how you guys work with the public and handle the public and deal with the public. That you're kind of getting back to the way we used to do it, pre-COVID world.
Yes, we just finished the 5210.
Okay, you can grab your mic. We don't have to share a microphone, just a headphone. But
okay.
Good.
We just finished the 5210 with Healthy Kids.
Yeah.
And we were in all the schools. We're still doing the diabetes classes. I just finished the Prevent Type 2 class.
Good deal.
In October.
So back to having the regular classes and things like you used to have. That's starting to come back now.
Yes. The Prevent Type 2 class was virtual.
Okay.
So it was all through Zoom still. And we're
Gotcha.
going to still continue doing the classes through Zoom.
Well, and I imagine, too, if a lot of that is talking and, you can get a lot accomplished through Zoom through that kind of meeting, unless it's a session where you're cooking something or doing something physical, you could probably get the rest you can do over a Zoom meeting, talking progress and, ideas and things like that. That's.
Well, I continued having the classes, but I also had 2 chefs actually cook.
Nice.
And participate in the class.
Good deal.
Nice.
So they got on and they demonstrated. They did all their healthy cooking and so forth. So it turned out really well.
Good.
Actually, as my daughter Daniela from Texas, I got her and her husband on to do the.
So were you in the room when they were cooking?
No, they were through Zoom. Through Zoom.
Wow. Well, the only bummer about that is you don't get to smell what they're doing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It looks good, but something about the smell. That's what gets you. The smell gets you. You can watch it all day, but if you're in that room and you're like, is that chili? Is that? Oh, man, that's smelling good. It's going to get in the stomach rumbling. So that's, well, good. Well, that's probably a good thing. That way, now they got stuck eating all the leftovers.
They got They were happy.
There you go. But that's great because that's something that, when folks get, either diagnosed pre-diabetic or diabetic or that, that some people interpret that as like, oh, great, death sentence. I'm going to be eating, plant food for the rest of my life, salads forever. And to be honest, that's not the case at all. You learn it's all about moderation and things.
Moderation and exercising every day.
But there's a lot of great alternatives now and things. It's ways to cook foods that even though you enjoy the food, but if you do it a traditional way or a certain way, it's much less healthy. But you do, pizzas even like the cauliflower crusts and things like that cut down on carbs and things like that, which are no diabetic's friend. That technology or that science has gotten a lot better, and so you eat a cauliflower crusted pizza instead of a dough crusted pizza, and it still tastes like a pizza. But you're not dealing with all the carbs and all the stuff. So there is options there and ways to to do and recreate the things you love, and you're like, I am not living the rest of my life without pizza, you know what I mean? Or ice cream or whatever it is. You find those ways, and that's where these classes help you find alternatives or just even portion control sometimes. Yes. It's like, hey, if you got a craving for ice cream, sometimes there's nothing that's going to satisfy that craving. But you know what you don't need to do? Eat the whole pint. Just maybe grab a spoonful or two and then satisfy that craving instead. But that's the kind of stuff that you guys teach, is that, and then portion control, just education. Because, you know, we all, you know, I think all of us, you know, growing up and, you know, how we were taught to eat and things like that. And now they're finding, well, maybe, you know, those rules we had as kids weren't always the best ideas, you know, cleaning your plate or no this, no that, and, you know, portion control. So we have skewed ideas on, you know, we're eating healthy, things like that. And so these classes really do wonders for folks to kind of re-educate and tell them it's like, no, you know, this is, you know, think of it as fueling your body, and this is the things you need to put in it. These are the things that are good. These are the things you probably need to steer clear from. Right. That's the kind of stuff. And kind of, you know, I'm showing my age a little bit, but I grew up with the food pyramid and the Ford food groups and all that stuff. And that's all gone the way of the dodo now. So,
but, you know, on education, the program that Joanne took to the schools, my grandson came home and he was all into it. It was like the whole refrigerator got cleared out. We, you know, 1 hour of exercise, 2 hours of screen time, and you know he just had us.
He got regimented with it.
He was really into it, so we you know we helped him, and that educates us again, because throughout years you forget what you need to be doing.
Well, and that's just it too, and that's where, because some people, you know, you can go gung ho, and you got to be careful there too, because if you go all in, and then like a week later you're like and then you throw it all out, you know, and so sometimes you're going to stumble and things like that, and that's probably where you deal with a lot is folks, you know, it's life's a struggle. Some days you have winning days, and other days you don't win so much. And and you in these classes and not only educate but kind of help socially in the mindset of it, and being your partners. And you know, anytime you're trying to do a new program or a lifestyle change, it's always helpful when you've got support to do that. People, either family or friends, to do it with you, or someone that you can talk to and ask questions. And when you're having moments of weakness or moments of not understanding what's going on, or you hit a wall, that's, you know, that's Absolutely. These classes come in and say, all right, now we got your buddy to work with you, or Joanne or one of the instructors can sit down and talk with you about these things. So please, anything the New Mexico Department of Health is offering, it's free of charge. You pay your taxes for a reason. It's for stuff like this.
Exactly. Well, and I had introduced the Veggie RX to Chavez County Health Council, so Joanne's going to take it over.
Good.
And they're going to do Veggie RX program here in Chavez County.
Well, it's great that you guys are able to get back partnering with the local organizations again, doing this kind of stuff. Absolutely. Like the Health Council, and working hand in hand. I understand as a government operation, you're very restricted on what they tell you to do and how you do it and all that. But now it's good to know that, you know, keep signing for the virtual stuff, but if you want to go to the office and see a person and talk to them, they're there now. And so if you have those questions and all that stuff, for the health department, New Mexico Department of Health, kind of, because I know there's a lot of subdivisions and subsects of it. Talk about where, if people are dealing with the health stuff that you're doing, where do they need, what facility, and do they need to go and talk to, and what numbers do they need to call for that?
Okay, our facility moved to West 2nd, 1912 West 2nd.
Yes.
And then the telephone number, they're all different telephone numbers. Everybody has different telephone numbers. I can leave my number. Yeah, like
if someone wanted to learn about, say, the diabetes stuff or some of those classes, something that they would call you direct for.
Yes, they can call our office, or we're also on the website Pathways to Health. Okay. So all our classes are on there.
Okay. And is it nmdoh.state.gov?
nmdoh.org.
There it is. I had it till the dots, and I'm like, gov.org, I don't know, but .org, nmdoh.org, and you can go, and that's a great resource to just kind of put on your bookmark. Absolutely. Like if you're, whenever, obviously, if we have to deal with another pandemic situation, that's going to be a resource. But anytime you're looking for general questions about stuff, vaccinations or any of that kind of information, or child support, then that kind of stuff, you'll find, the big flies are out. The weather's getting warm or cold, and these big flies just show up out of nowhere. I don't know where they come from. But
and Mike, I also wanted to, during this sit down, I wanted to introduce an organization that's a member of ours, and it's the Road to Recovery.
Yes.
And Joanne's family is the one that is putting this on. So,
kind of give us a little bit of background on Road to Recovery and what this organization's all about.
So my sister Loretta Huerta, she's from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Okay.
She is the lead.
Okay.
For the it's a new walk here in Roswell.
Okay.
It's going to be a 5K walk in January.
Okay.
And we're looking for resources for help.
Okay.
And so this is actually the first Road to Recovery.
Okay, so this is the grassroots. We're still kind of putting all the pieces in place for this organization. So looking for ground floor people to help with that and things like that. Now, is this Road to Recovery? Is this for substance abuse and that kind of
abuse, mental health?
Okay.
Yes.
So options for treatment resources, et cetera,
yes.
for folks that need any kind of substance abuse help, or if they're ready to break free from the cycle of drugs or alcohol or whatever it is, they can put them in the path to recovery kind of thing.
And so my two nieces came together and said, we want to start the 5K walk.
Okay.
And so they've been meeting for about 6-7 months now.
Okay.
And then so I've just been introducing Loretta and her team to different organizations.
I got a phone number here. I think it's a different number. Why don't we, if you guys are okay with it, why don't we take a quick 1-minute news pause, and we'll get her on the phone, get Loretta on the phone here, and then we can have her talk to us direct.
Thank you.
Does that work for you guys?
Sounds good.
Okay, Tanner, we're going to take a quick commercial break here, and the rest of you. We're going to pause real quick for a local news update. While I'm doing that, we're going to get Loretta on the phone here, and then we'll get a chance for us to chat here.
Great.
So
That'll be great.
Don't go away. We'll be back. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. Roswell police are discussing trick-or-treat safety. Remember that if it's going to be dark, equip yourself and your kids with flashlights. Also, avoid approaching any houses that are not lit at the door. Younger kids should always be accompanied by an adult or responsible older teenager. And remind your children that, if possible, try to move around the neighborhood on the sidewalks rather than walking in the street. The U.S. Department of Agriculture will waive cost-sharing requirements for New Mexico farmers and ranchers affected by the largest wildfire in the state's recorded history. U.S. Senator Ben Ray Lujan on Thursday announced that the agency will cover cost-sharing for emergency forest restoration, conservation, and other environmental improvement programs. The move follows the approval of a massive federal spending bill that included $2.5 billion in relief for those affected by the fire and post-fire flooding. That bill included a provision to waive cost-sharing for all programs administered by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Slugs have 4 noses, but no fingers to pick them. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 35 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us back in studio, of course, we have the Joannes. We're just going to refer to you as the Joannes as well. But we were kind of talking about her right before the news break on the phone here. Loretta Huerta is joining us as well on the phone. Can you hear us okay?
Yes, I can hear you fine.
Awesome. Very good. Well, thank you for getting this in. Yeah, you guys are going to need to put those on so you can hear here. Now your sister can hear you. She puts her headphones on.
All right.
Here.
Hi, Joanne.
So she'll have to talk to the mic so she can hear you there. But so let me ask. We kind of left off in the middle here. Talk a little bit about the organization. I know we were talking about getting in the grassroots here of and talking about this as a program for individuals for substance abuse, mental health, and things like that. But Loretta, go ahead and kind of, you were listening to us, so hopefully you can pick up kind of where we left off and just kind of give a little bit of background, a little bit of info about this organization.
All right. Well, there's a very sad story as the reason we started. We lost our youngest brother. There's 14 in the family.
Oh, man.
And two accidental overdose. We were devastated when we heard the news. He had just been out of prison 3 weeks and tried something that he found, and it took his life. The saddest thing is my brother, a doctor, pronounced him gone in the ER, and that shook our family, shook the nieces and nephews.
Man.
Together, there's 110 of us, so we're a big Roswell family. And we decided that something needed to be done, and our goal is so simple, to help one family. And if we can help that one family find the resources that they need, they won't possibly go through the heartbreak that we've been through, the heartache. And we've got a team that has tried all the resources out to see how difficult is it to access help that maybe low-income people might not be able to afford without insurance. And so that was one of our goals. And then what are the avenues for people that do have insurance? So that was our team effort. That's Alicia, a niece, all the way in North Carolina, has taken on that role. But DOH, the Joannes jumped in and gave us so many resources that we're ready to go with that.
Nice.
But Dr. Sean Powell at ENMUR is the one that got us started.
Okay.
Gave us a race list. We called Mayor Tim Jennings, and he said, anything you need. And so from there, Roswell Schools accommodated us with offering the Wool Bowl. And now we're seeking a sponsor, a nonprofit, so we can, run all the funds through them that we make in the race. But the goal is to get enough resources to provide to the community that they know exactly where to go for help. Because that is something we would have wanted for our young brother. And, of course, now we just have this mission to do this. So January 21st, we're hoping for good weather in Roswell that
I'm knocking
day.
on wood as we speak.
Yeah, and it's a 5K, so it's for health and energy. But any connection we can make to DOH and get people aware, now that I've had time to research their websites, follow up on their referrals and their connections and their networking through the Leadership Council, and just the members at large throughout the Roswell community, people have been very helpful. So we're excited to bring an entire community together and hope that we can get it out there for a good cause. We're going to also run it virtually.
Okay.
We have family all over the United States that we would like them to sponsor, come on in, join the race, and then do it on their own time. But those of us that are in Roswell, let's walk together, because we'll be walking for our own brother, but there's others that are going to be walking for their families, because this opioid epidemic is taking way too many New Mexican lives. Did you know that we're number 12 in the nation right now?
Wow.
And that is not a good number to be. We are losing lots of people to,
it's
almost that's out there.
It's almost to the point, like you hear cancer. Every one of us is impacted by cancer, either directly or indirectly. Unfortunately, drug abuse and substance abuse and this mental health is the same thing. There's probably people listening that are in denial themselves right now in this audience that are dealing with and struggling with these issues and things like that. It touches all of us here, and guess what? It does not discriminate. It doesn't care if you're rich, poor, black, white, green, yellow, male, female. Doesn't matter. It impacts all of us, and that's something that we need to stand together and be in this. I've always been saying this. We need to Susan G. Komen mental health. That's been my mantra, and what I mean by that is, how much money breast cancer awareness and all that, and it's a good thing. But the Susan G. Komen Fund has done more for raising money and raising awareness and pushing research forward in that area, we need to do the same thing with mental health. And I throw substance abuse in that because I think they're one and the same. They go hand in hand.
Exactly.
I think substance abuse is
it's
a Band-Aid for a bigger issue. And
the pandemic didn't help anything. And then to all of a sudden, my brother's chance to go back to Roswell, start his life, and then not being aware of what these drugs on the street, where they're coming from, what they contain. Well, it was a little bit too much for his system. So we just want to educate parents. If we could reach someone who's addicted as well, great. They're up for a battle. The research shows that it takes a committed effort of just working together. But I know there's programs in Roswell. I think that Joanne going into the schools and teaching our young kids, health measures and how to stay healthy will be even better, because I think the pandemic did really influence a lot of people with, really having to focus on mental health.
Sure.
And getting ourselves nice and strong. So we're going to try it, and our website will be up for November.
Okay.
So if you'll have me on again,
Absolutely.
I will be gladly to promote that website.
Yeah.
And get some posters out to everybody, because right now, outside of your email, Mike, I think I have everybody's email that I'm going to send an email blast out to once we have that website up. So
okay.
We don't want this stigmatized. It's in front of us. It's here. Let's deal with it head on and not pretend that it's only for those people that, deserve it in some awful way. It's not. It's something that Roswell can be proud of. It can be a vibrant, healthy community, and we're just going to do our part.
Yeah. So kind of pencil in on your calendars right now, January 21, 2023. If you haven't got your 2023 calendar yet, go get you one of those and put that first date on there. And then plan to be out at the Wool Bowl from beginning about 9:30 that morning. Obviously, as we get closer here, we'll give people the links to sign up and to learn more and to get more involved and to, because I'm sure there's some people listening, I'm hoping, and they're thinking, I want to do more than just walk around in a circle. I want to get more involved and get active here. So for you folks, we want you involved too, because mental health is something we as humanity needs to nip in the bud here. We talk about drug abuse and things and saying that's Band-Aids, and it is, but it's a much more dangerous world now with this. Once fentanyl entered the game, that changed things. I mean, cocaine and these things are never something you want to just pick up and try. That's bad deals. But casual, hey, some kid went to a party and said, try this for the first time. And now most of this stuff coming off the streets laced with fentanyl, and people are dying the first time they're trying this stuff. So we gotta, I'm not trying to condone dumb kids experimenting, because we're all kids and we all done dumb things and, had a beer or smoked a joint or, you do things. That's what happened. And you learn a lesson sometimes, but you don't get the opportunity to learn lessons with this stuff. It's killing people. And so we need to, A, keep kids from going down this path, but B, help the people that are using drugs as that Band-Aid to try to fix their problems. And unfortunately, some are very good at it. Some have been doing it there for a long time, others. And here's the other thing too, we all blame ourselves when you lost your family member. I'm sure half the family's like, we should have saw it. You know what I mean? It's just, you blame yourself, you blame everybody, and it's not anyone to blame. It's, life happens and things. But at the same time, as family members, they're talking to your family, being with your family, understanding your family, their family fights. We get that. Everybody argues, Thanksgiving ain't complete with a good argument between an uncle and somebody, right? But it's, you just got to look out and keep on it. And that's what this program really is. It's about getting everybody involved. And that's just it. Alcoholism and drug abuse and these things, they're diseases. This is what we're learning. This isn't just some people making oh, I feel like getting, no, it's much bigger than that. This is they could be dealing with abuse, could be dealing with mental illness, could be all the above. And the one time they felt good is when they had that drink in their hand, or when they took that hit of cocaine or whatever it is, and that's how they cope with life. And unfortunately, it's not a recipe that you usually can handle for very long. And it just spirals. I mean, but we got to understand the mental health side. I think that's where we got to crack the code. And I think we just need to, have 100,000 walks, and we raise billions of dollars, and it goes to mental health research. And who knows, maybe by the time our kids are adults, they got a much bigger handle on this, and something like, who knows, schizophrenia or any of the things we're dealing with right now. They, hey, you can, there's ways to manage that, to treat it, to, God forbid, cure it, and this is what we got to do. So things like this walk and stuff, this is kind of like step one in going into that, turning it into your Susan G. Komen, and everybody's wearing designated color, and doing all the things to show support. That's great and wonderful, but it's the bucks that come behind all that stuff that makes the real difference. So, so please sign up for this walk, and if folks certainly want to get more involved, reach out to any of the Joannes. Just stand on the street and yell Joanne, and one will help you. I'm just kidding, but get a hold of the New Mexico Department of Health. Call 211 for the Chaves County Health Council. They'll be happy to answer any questions or anything about this. Now, like, you're based in Albuquerque doing all this, and I imagine the rest of the family, they here with boots on the ground doing stuff. So, Joanne, if someone's here in town and they want to talk, is probably you the best person to get a hold of, or should they call your sister? Or?
Call Loretta, because
Okay.
we have a committee. So
Okay.
there's Marisa Maiza.
Okay.
She's on the committee. And
Okay.
there's a few others.
Okay. So, if anybody had any questions or anything, Loretta, about anything we're talking about, what's the best way to get a hold of you direct?
Okay, directly, I'd like them to use my email,
Okay.
which is huerta.loretta, LORETTA, 58@gmail.com, because right now my phone is a little bit out of order. So I would really like them to reach out, call Joanne's, either one, and they'll forward a flyer. They'll email a flyer that has all the contact information on it, because I know somebody knows somebody out there that is willing to help and sponsor and be a part of this great event. And we would love to have you. I would like to see representation from so many organizations in Roswell, so we can reach those families that need the help the most.
I would even love to see, like, how we have Walk for Hope for the Chaves County Cancer Fund and things. It's a great event here in town. But they always have that survivor's lap at the beginning where they get all the folks that have beat their.
Yes.
What if we did something like our version of a survivor? People that have overcome their addictions, overcome their things, and they're the ones leading the pack for that first lap. Yeah. That might be a cool idea.
Beautiful. What an awesome idea.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
All right, write that one down.
And then they know there's a community behind them.
Yeah.
And I love that idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
So but this
signing you on.
This is what we need people to get involved, reach out, and here's the thing: we all, like I said earlier, we all been impacted. We all either have a friend or a relative, or maybe it's us ourselves. We are all dealing with mental health issues. And especially the COVID world we live in. Even people, all of us are dealing with mental health. Some obviously different degrees than other, but. To a person right now, I'm sure if you asked them how they're feeling, most of them are going to be like, I'm okay, but. Or, yeah, I'm this, you know what I mean? And some are going to be worse than that. But all of us, if you've been alive on this earth for the last 3 years, you're dealing with some mental health issues. It's just the nature of the beast here. And so we need to recognize that and help. Just look at the world we live in. You turn on the news and you see the things we see in the news. Does that look like people with rational minds doing rational things? Right. Or does this sound like mental health issues that are going on? So, and how do we start it? One at a time, right here in the, like you said at the beginning, one family at a time, one at a time here. So let's roll up our sleeves and see how many families and how many people's lives we can change by just raising awareness, raising money, and putting people in touch with resources too. I imagine too, if there's any organizations out there listening that offer these kind of resources, that maybe that's not on Joanne's radar or whatever. But Joanne Lopez that time. Sorry. Sorry, I forgot I had a bunch of Joanne. And that way, we can say, hey, all right, well, because that's really what at the end of the day, the Health Council is a conduit. It is that it's a gathering place for others to get the word out, to get things going. So it makes complete sense that the Health Council is partnering here with this to get this organization off the ground and everything here. So
yes, sir.
Good deal. Is there anything we didn't get a chance to talk about? Anything we missed or anything we wanted to share that we got just forgot about, or I made some dumb joke about?
No, just for anybody that's interested in being a part of the conversation of the awareness of the abuse, whether it's drug abuse, alcohol, whatever type of abuse, just get a hold of us so they can be a part of this walk
and tune into the executive meeting this Friday, the Zoom
Friday,
tune in,
9 a.m.
And I imagine if you have questions about this event or getting involved, there'll be some people you can talk to about it at that executive meeting. And that's this Friday.
This Friday, 9 a.m., and you can call 211, and I can give you the Zoom link, or you can go to the Facebook page and get it from there.
Yeah, Chaves County Health Council, look for that Facebook page there, too. And, of course, like you said, if you want more information about the walk here in January and this organization and getting in, come out to that meeting, call 211. Those are probably your two quickest, because it's pretty hard to forget 211. Remember that one, and you'll be good to go. So, very well. Thank you very much, and of course, Loretta, thank you for hanging out on the phone with us here a little bit. Greatly appreciated, and we'll get you back on here as we talk, as this event kind of grows and we get more information and details worked out. We definitely can't wait to get you back on to talk more about it. And who knows? Maybe this thing gets big like Walk for Hope and everything. That would be great, wouldn't it? Where we got thousands of people out there each year doing their thing and walking. Next thing you know, you're like, yeah, we raised thousands and thousands of dollars, or that's what we want to do, because every dollar raised is helping to fix this problem, and that's. So how are you going to do it? If you're waiting for someone else to do it, you're going to be waiting a while. That's how life works.
Well, thank you guys. So true your words were, and the council's been phenomenal to work with. Thank you all for your hard work, and keep up the good work. So I appreciate your time, and more info coming, okay?
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for spending time with us, and we look forward to speaking again soon, okay?
All righty.
Awesome.
I'll keep listening. I'm going to say bye now. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Loretta. Take care. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right. That was Loretta Huerta here. And then, like I said, if you have any questions about anything we talked about here, 211 Joanne, or call the other Joanne Palomino through the New Mexico Department of Health. Again, for what's your number there if they have any questions about diabetes or any of that stuff?
505-222-4634.
Very good. And that is the number. Or come by the office on 2nd Street.
Yes.
That's that office there. If you're going to one of the others,
right.
you're going to have to, you're going to get a nice tour of Roswell. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate it. We'll see you all next time,
yes,
okay?
Sir. Thank you, Mike.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.
Don't work too hard.
Early is November 5th. New Mexico saw a record-breaking number of almost 40 million visitors last year, according to a new report this week by the state's tourism office. The study determined 39.2 million people came to the land of enchantment and generated $7.2 billion in spending across the state. Friday football and some Saturday football. The Bulldogs blew out Mayfield on Saturday 35-0. Roswell also beat Goddard on Friday, 42-7. Carlsbad lost 42-7 on Friday to Hobbs, and Dexter took the big L to Ruidoso, 43-6. Now you're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
A meteorologist, Jennifer Naramore, with your Pecos Valley weather. There's a large area of high pressure extending on in. We have a dry forecast here straight through Thursday night. Low-end chances for rain returning by Friday. Partly to mostly sunny for Roswell, Carlsbad, and Artesia for today. Highs are up from the upper 60s to near 70. Clear out there tonight and a low 40 to 45. Plenty of sunshine through Tuesday. Looks like for Wednesday, too. Highs from the low to middle 70s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. We'll hear from the Federal Reserve at midweek. The Fed should decide whether to hike interest rates again. The central bank is widely expected at this week's meeting to announce another rate hike of 0.75 of a percentage point. That is 3 times its typical margin. The White House bringing together 36 nations, a European Union, and a slew of private sector companies for a 2-day summit looking at how best to fight ransomware attacks. The UN's labor agency warns that job vacancies and employment growth expected to decline worldwide for the remaining months of this year. Wall Street opened lower this morning. The benchmarks gave back some of last week's gains. Still, it looks like the Dow is set to record its best October on record. The market remains uneasy ahead of Wednesday's interest rate announcement by the Federal Reserve. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing here, and I can tell you it's not always easy being a female in a male-dominated business like roofing. I remember one time I was at a meeting to bid on the roof for a local college, and it was me and 13 men. Well, I won that bid, and I'd like to win your business too. My dad was a contractor, and I've been around building and roofing my whole life. I'm licensed and bonded, and I've forgotten more about roofing than most roofers ever knew in the first place. But what really sets Trustmark apart is an obsessive attention to detail that ensures that everything goes smoothly the first time. I promise we will treat you right with respect and we will make you happy. So yeah, it might be a bit odd for a woman to own a roofing company, but give us a try. Let us give you an estimate for your roof. I think you'll be glad you called. For all your roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Hi, I'm 5th District Judge Eileen Reardon. When I put on that black robe, my thought process zooms in and focuses on the law. Nothing but the law. Just because I like you or don't, or because you're a Republican or Democrat, in this courtroom, it doesn't matter. The evidence presented and the law that the legislature passed are the only things that matter. This is hallowed ground, and I don't play favorites. I rule by the letter of the law. I'm 5th District Judge Eileen Reardon, and I'm asking for your vote November 8th.
Paid for by the Committee-elect Judge Reardon, Steve McCutcheon, Treasurer.
I'm Judge Reardon, and I approve this message.
I'm here with Freddie Sosa, sales manager at Richland Motors. I heard that supply numbers are changing. What do you think, Freddie?
Well, Mike, I could talk about the 70 used cars and the 30 new cars that we have on our lot. But the number I can't get out of my head is 756. That's how many vehicles we have sold so far in 2022. Thank you to Roswell and our surrounding communities in what was supposed to be a pandemic. So on behalf of myself, Travis Hicks, and the rest of the Richland Motors staff, thank you for choosing to ride for our brand, Richland Motors.
See the folks at Richland today, 2601 West 2nd, Roswell. This is an urgent appeal to vote in this upcoming election. The governor, with the full backing of the progressive liberals, has shut down our businesses, schools, damaged our communities, and your freedoms. Elect people to political office who will combat and resist the liberals' ruinous policies. Liberty is the key to prosperity, and we must elect people who will fight for that cause. Vote for Greg Nybert for State Representative District 59 and for Republicans who will restore our rights in our state and nation.
Paid for by Greg Nybert for State Representative, Richard Taylor, Treasurer.
Clyde Lewis and Ground Zero is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
And that's going to do it for us. If you missed any part of the show, check it out at your leisure, ksvptv.com. Or go to our YouTube or our Roswell's Talk FM Facebook wall. You'll find the videos there as well. Have an amazing day. Thanks for allowing us to be a part of it. We'll talk to you bright and early tomorrow. Take care.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com.